Besides things like interest rates, of course, and stuff like that. So we are about to get going. There's a little bit more I have to cover here, just very briefly, but I want to make sure I'm not missing anything.
From what I think, it's like a balance reason, I suppose. I don't know. Like, I instantly go to war with the Ainu people. For some reason.
I mean, I would post it in the diplomatic place just so that people are aware of it and know it's going on. Yeah, I'd recommend doing that. Just at least like a small diplomatic thing in diplomatic place.
No, we are not going to try and become the #1 tea producer. We'll try and get the East India Company to produce more of it, but we're going to import it. As I was just saying, though, is that like the big concept, right, was you import cheap goods and you make specialty ones, which Britain had fully embraced in this point. The other big thing that happened is there was a really radical leader of English trade policy in China, Napier, who pissed off fucking everyone in the Qing. He raised the British flag, which you weren't allowed to do, and he refused to kneel and kowtow to the emperor unless the court of the emperor would also kowtow and bow to a picture of Elizabeth, pissing off everyone. He also traded a bunch more stuff he shouldn't have, and the British just got attacked. Opium smugglers were imprisoned, and British ships were fired upon just recently, 2 years ago. So we have very hot relations with the Qing right now.
After this week, you can put it to 3.
Okay. Right. Kicker is saying
Free
that
trade?
perhaps the observer could cause a crash, so that might be something we
Shit,
will
all right.
experience.
We'll go for protectionism. No support for it.
Yes, we'll see. But if he does cause a crash, then well, he will need to.
Okay, we got speed 2 or speed 3?
This is the new feature we've added to the mod, Political Discord, which I made with Dinarka. It's really fun. I'll explain that in a little bit too.
And the introduction.
I'm actually glad we can experience this a little bit. Essentially, it means if you're making agreements with foreign powers who are ideologically differently to you, you piss off people. And if you piss off enough people, you have problems. It's to stop the issue that we had in previous games in multiplayer, where people would make deals with countries radically different than them and act like it was nothing. Like socialists working with autocrats or monarchies, for example, which is nonsensical.
14th.
I'm lagging really bad.
We are. Why?
So people are falling behind.
Yes.
Okay,
And
well,
that's decent.
You're probably killing things.
Who desynced?
BFC, KFC.
You? Oh man. I'm very sorry.
Oh man, I'm lagging bad. So I can turn off anything here.
Yeah. Cheeseman and Frank Fletcher.
Alright. Yeah, so anyone, I would recommend just getting rid of any background applications that you don't need if you want to keep up like the rule set.
I'll be playing
tab,
in-game
that's
music
fine, but
to
everything
reduce
else,
some lag here.
I recommend. There's someone lagging. I can't see their name because there's so many people in the game.
It's Frank Fletcher.
Let me know how the volume is.
Yeah, okay, we're gonna have to kick them because they're just making other people desync as well. So, thank you. Okay, there we go. Did you just
That
move
loud?
the speed 1 or did it do it automatically?
No, I think it did it automatically. Jump it back up.
How's that?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there goes another one. Cheeseman and we just kick them.
Cheeseman, please remove your background applications. Yes, you guys can click.
We can build now?
You can, yeah, you can.
Qing government has announced its intent to put an end to the opium trade in the Great Qing. So, the Kingdom is a major exporter of opium. This is a matter of great economic concern. We cannot allow this to maintain. So we're not going to allow this.
Accidentally closed Victoria. That was. I'm sorry.
I need to go talk with
we're
the
gonna have to
Emperor
kick
very
Cheeseman
soon.
as well because they're holding up the entire game.
No.
Sorry.
Well. Let's leave.
Okay.
Let's work on building.
If we pass this week,
We need a lot of coal, right? That's the main thing we need. I didn't take a look at the closely before we got going in terms of economy. I am again just a sub here. So.
Alright, it seems like this Kinky Dodo, you're now lagging.
Yeah, I'm noticing. How far am I behind? Quite far.
Weak. And pre-fire EXE as well. Please make sure you close out all of your background applications, or unfortunately we may have to kick you guys.
Yep. There's nothing more I can do if I keep holding up
They
the game.
left. Alright, okay. Yeah, I
You
think
do
you're- I
you
think
keep
you're-
catching up every now and again, yeah.
Yeah, I think you're alright. because you're not dropping into the red. So
Oh,
yeah. All right.
Ooh.
All right, everyone. That seems stable enough to me. We can start. You guys start
Do
heading down
historical
your
roleplay,
channels.
build trains across.
If you have any questions, feel free to come to me or any of the support GCs. Mannix, you put SGC
We'll
in
build
your
Big
name,
Ben in the home
please.
countries.
So that would be New
Universities
Granada,
do we have?
Portugal,
10,
Kyoto,
11. I'm going to build
and
up another
Emperor
4
Vietnam, Schwab
in
are your
Oxford,
support
which will
GCs,
be
or
in the West
myself,
Country.
John Brown, Central America. You guys can come to me. You guys can start going down your channels. Good luck, have fun, and yeah, let me know if there's any issues.
We need to figure out our deficit right now as
Fun,
well.
everybody.
Have fun.
Our Navy expenses are going to be very high. How are we looking on that? We need a bit of everything here. Need to jump down channels. The beginning of fucking Vic 3 is always so stressful because there's like 50 things to fucking do. And if you like get distracted. Need a little more, 2 more shipyards as well. You get our colonies going. Oh my god. Interest. Tons of interest remaining. Okay. That's good. Coming from Nerd Rage Fred's people, I am normally a giant lurker, but wanted to thank you for the great content you always provide. I see them in a lunks you go for that. I appreciate that, dude. Appreciate you see that. Means a lot, man. All right, we gotta hop down. Jay's the co-op, by the way. He's the foreign minister. I need to go speak with him. I'm just a little bit in that early stage moment. All right, let me hop down to a VC. Already in one. I'll follow Abdullah. Al-Zamil. All right, so out of RPG, you're gonna be role-playing foreign minister. Is that correct?
Yep.
Cool. I'm going to be playing the prime minister. The Opium Wars just started. I'm going to be going and speaking with the Qing immediately. Do you want to stay and basically act as like London, essentially? And negotiate with anyone who wants to come talk?
Gentlemen.
Greetings.
All right, yeah, we have the UK,
Welcome.
so be warned, it'll be a lot. Gentlemen, I will be back. For now, you can speak with the foreign minister. We have an ongoing conflict currently occurring in the Qing in the Far East that I need to go speak with. Be back shortly. Find him.
Now,
Correct. Please.
Greetings.
Oh, I'm like it's another trader from the British.
Is there any way for you to turn up your mic at all? I don't know if it's on mine or not.
It might be you. I'm like I have it pretty high, but if I put it any higher, people can hear me breathing and stuff.
I can barely hear you at all. Let me look around at my settings real quick.
I don't want to turn it up higher because it starts hearing my game because my mic's beside the game.
For anyone else in this VC, is he really faint for you, or is this on my end?
I have him at 130% already, so he's fine.
Yeah.
I have him at 200.
He's not.
I could just go switch to my phone if it.
No. I can work with this. I'll just change around my settings, turn down the music, and I think we're good.
All right.
Wonderful. I am the Minister of Trade from the United Kingdom, here to speak with either the Qing's foreign minister or the Emperor, if I can get an audience, as this is a very important meeting to be had given recent events and actions taken towards my nation and Her Majesty, recently coronated in London.
You can acquire a meeting with the Hong head of the Hong merchants. However, requesting a meeting with the Emperor.
We are no
himself
longer
is
willing to
quite
speak with the merchants in Canton, as given recent actions from your nation, we feel a proper meeting is required. We know this breaks custom with you, but given your recent actions, we no longer have the patience to deal with your bureaucratic, unneeded time wasting.
Very well. And a show of good faith, you shall at least meet with him with one of the imperial ministers.
Very well.
I can't do voices, so I'm like.
No,
as much
you're
as I
fine.
want to do
Don't.
a
As long as
voice,
you're
I
acting, man,
can't.
I don't care. You're fine. I could be doing a horrible English accent. I've chosen to not hurt anyone's ears today. All right, beautiful. Wonderful. Well, I do hope that you realize this is very time sensitive. I am stationed here until we can have this conversation. My government has given me a list of, well, I'm going to be quite frank with you, demands. So we will need to speak as soon as possible.
And what are these foolhardy demands then? Oh no.
Number one. Given your actions in the sound south of Canton and to the east of Macau, the imprisonment of Englishmen without proper cause, the firing on English ships, as well as the recent debates within the bureaucracy of the Qing to begin to ban the sale of opium to your country in order to deal with a trade deficit which we have no interest in maintaining. My government comes with you with a list of demands in order to set things right, which will allow us to continue in good faith with the Emperor. Firstly, you are to give proper recompense for the capturing of English citizens, including a sum of £500,000 per year. Second, you are to stop all trade with foreign bodies that are not the United Kingdom or her colonies or companies. Third, you are to cede the region southeast of Canton to us as a permanent trading port where the laws of the Qing will no longer apply. And lastly, you will permanently demilitarize your coastal zone and put it under the control of British shipping and the British Admiralty. These are demands that my government, failure to comply, will result in more extreme recompense for your recent actions.
You dare come to the heavenly throne and send these demands? And like, you dare stand for the Emperor himself and his ministers and and list out these outrageous words? No, we shan't let you deal with it. We shan't hear of you anymore. In fact, let it be heard now across the empire. Opium is now banned.
Are you not a no-level minister? Well, must you speak with your emperor first before such a thing?
No, the emperor would stand with my choices, especially with the words you've said. Demands towards the great queen.
We've been willing to put up with your arrogance for a time, as it was in both of our benefits. We're no longer willing to do so. Before I return home and report this to my government, I give you one last chance to reconsider, as the consequences for the future of both for our nations, but certainly in yours, is rather extreme. Is this truly the path you wish to go down?
It is a path. It is the path of the empire. Yeah, to stand alone. With their loyal tributaries and vassals. We shan't kneel. We shan't bow to any other foreign powers. Leave the imperial palace at once.
Very well. In that case, I will return home in good faith, and wish you farewell.
Accomplish on my goal.
Well, yes.
I do apologize for interrupting. Unfortunately, negotiations have broken down with the Qing, and they have banned opium entirely in their country as a reaction to our conversation with them. Foreign Minister, I am going to go and speak with Her Majesty in the palace regarding this, and recommend the only action that can be given in such a time.
I mean, it's an act of war. We can't risk everything that we've built.
Out of RP, did you make a trade deal with Greece?
Yeah, we did.
No, we cannot. This is far too valuable. The company itself has been recommending these sorts of actions for quite some time. The loss of revenue to the Qing in terms of cotton as well as other things has gotten quite bad. But a banning on opium exports to the Qing will severely reduce the income of both the company, the crown, parliament, as well as give us a permanent trade deficit with the Qing. This cannot stand, and we will need to move ahead with the alternative.
I must insist we take action, sir.
Lord Eaton. Pleasure to have you here in, was it Downing Street at this point in history, or were they on somewhere else?
Somewhere
else. To the residences of the Prime Minister. As I'm sure you have heard, as I had sent correspondence, our meeting with the Qing on the behalf of the company and the Empire has gone abysmally, and they have banned opium, something that I'm sure I need not tell a man like you how disastrous this can be.
This will not stand. This will be disastrous for the company.
Indeed. It is entirely unacceptable. The arrogance of these Easterners, it is well gone beyond acceptability. We are therefore discussing armed conflict with the Qing, of which I am sure that the company will be willing to give men and funds in order to involve themselves with.
Well, to our best needs, as I'm sure you're aware, our 60 battalions are currently holding the fort with the rebellious locals, but we do have our own invasion plans to annex the Nepal and the king there, which is currently a tributary of the Great King, which will definitely hurt him. So perhaps a coordinated strike in that matter might divert some of the attention away from the mainland.
I do rather agree. I think that would be a very good move forward here. We are going to undertake direct action in order to secure permanent trading ports. Now, after much debate, and there has been recommendations against it, I also will recommend to the foreign ministers that Formosa be taken directly in order to give us a permanent military base in strategic area. Pacifying the island would be quite difficult, but we do feel as though it is worth the military cost to do. Out of RP, historically, Britain decided against it because it was so costly, but I think in this timeline, we're going to go for it.
It's a good staging ground.
Exactly.
Jesus. Will you still get the trade benefits from just Formosa?
No, but we're going to also take Hong Kong.
Okay.
I mean, historically, Britain... I mean, the Treaty of Nanking, I'm sure you read about it, Brock. It's rough.
Yeah.
All right. In that case, I suppose the letter should go out. Foreign Minister, could you notify what remaining colonies have not been gathered here at this meeting to bring together? I feel as though all governors and ministers of the Empire must be here for this occasion.
Of course.
This is a historical moment here and a rather radical one. I gotta get rid of some of my naval bases. I did make these so fucking expensive. Well, for all those who have been gathered here, Oman is not a vessel, no. That's some left. Gentlemen, I am going to begin negotiations and proceed forward in Parliament and have a direct declaration of war here. Are you fighting in a war?
Why are we at speed 5 paused?
Very good question. I think a player must have moved it up.
Hello.
Hello there.
I am representative sent by Commander Lee from Cairo.
Do forgive me, but you've come at a very important time here. We are preparing to declare war on the Qing. I do believe there were prior negotiations regarding some sort of a trade deal with Pasha in Cairo, correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Would you mind filling me in one more time on those terms very briefly, just before I recommend it to Parliament or anything else? Also, guys, your mics are really low. I know it's not me here too.
It was a trade agreement and a defense of, well, a guarantee of Egypt maintaining its core territories. Core as in not Syria or in Palestine.
I see. And I assume as part of this, we would get preferred access to all cotton imports from your nation?
We can arrange that.
It is very necessary in these times, given especially the fall off in trade that will be coming from the Qing in this war, that we secure the cotton necessary to clothe all good Britons, as long as those can be negotiated into this deal. I think this could be agreeable.
Yeah, I understand. Well, yeah, we agree to that.
Very well. In that case, a trade agreement between Her Majesty's government and that of Egypt in exchange for protection, a guarantee in core territories, and preferred access to all cotton imports from your country. Am I missing anything here?
No, that is correct.
I think we can abide by those terms with much happiness, much like yourself.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
I will excuse myself back to Cairo now. Goodbye.
Safe journeys home. Gentlemen, I am going to begin the process here. All right, so we're going to do Formosa. Take a treaty port in Hong Kong. We're going to get a lot of infamy off this. Fucking hell. We'll open up their market. We'll liberate Korea.
Good day from the Ottoman Empire.
Or reparations. Hello there. You do come at a very busy time. We are preparing for a major conflict in the Far East. Who am I speaking with?
The Ottoman Empire, the Sultan of the Ottoman Empire. You should speak with a representative from the British Empire.
I am the Prime Minister here. What can I do for you?
Well, the Ottoman Empire and the British Empires have been united in a lot of trade recently. And we would like to discuss further opportunities to expand this trade. Perhaps some tariff agreements could help create more prosperity for both of us.
We are seeking a more stable situation in the region, especially after our recent conflict with both your nation and that of your, shall we say, very autonomous friends in the south. And we are looking to avoid a situation like that again. And we also wish to obviously ensure that you do intend to maintain the autonomy of the Greek people. So that needs to be asked well before anything else.
Absolutely. We are absolutely certain that the independence of the Greek state will be safeguarded.
It's good to hear. Well, as I said before, we are looking for more stability in the region. We also must ask that I know there has been some tension between you and the Pasha in Cairo. What is the current state of the Ottoman Empire's relationship? I know it's a very complicated one, but generally speaking.
Indeed, it is a very complicated question. And it is one we are currently trying to reach a solution towards. We believe that it would be best for the empire if the governor of Egypt had his, let's say, duties reduced in size.
In what capacity?
The Levant especially would be best under Ottoman control, so that we have a good access to Mecca and Medina.
I'm sure, as a religious man, the Pasha gives all members of the empire access to take the Hajj, does he not?
Of course, but the governor is a very ambitious man. He has a lot of big plans.
He has many big plans, and I do wish to make very clear to you, as I'm sure you will find out shortly, that we have established a trade agreement with his region of the empire in order to ensure importing of cotton, as well as guaranteed the sovereignty of his territories. So I cannot abide by the supporting of a lowering of his current position. That is what you seek.
But the Ottoman Empire's markets are far greater than those of Egypt's.
In some ways.
We have tea, silk, many other wares that would be very useful for British.
Indeed, we do import much silk from you as well as cotton, but I'm afraid that the Nile does provide much more than the Ottomans ever could, and Her Majesty's government must always look after its own. As I said before, we are not seeking to back any horse in this race, but rather we don't want to see a horse race at all. If your government is set on pacifying your wayward governor, we will unfortunately be unable to provide any help, aid, or frankly any form of acts with your country.
You said that you would guarantee the territorial integrity of the governor?
Indeed, his current region that he is given, of course, you know, the right to oversee. We see it important that for the stability of the cotton-producing river delta, that the boat not be too shaken there. But we are, again, trying not to choose a horse. We are trying to stabilize the region in order to ensure proper flow of goods to Her Majesty's port.
Of course, we have no wish to hinder the flow of goods from the Nile in any way. The governor could continue his work in Egypt. He could focus his efforts on a smaller region, which will give him a much better ability to succeed in agricultural pursuits.
I would recommend a full conference order to discuss this matter, as I see that it is a contentious issue for both. Gentlemen, might the foreign minister of the United Kingdom, as well as the Pasha of Egypt, and your distinguished person, or His Majesty himself, be willing to meet in a conference, perhaps in Istanbul, to speak on this matter further, as I am afraid I am conducting a full-blown war with one of the world's most ancient and powerful nations.
I'm happy to represent the UK in that.
We are very interested in good relationships with the Empire, and the power of Istanbul is not without question, but we want to do this in a reasonable manner. Might this conference be agreeable to, again, your government?
This is agreeable. It would be the British Empire, the Egyptian governor, and the Ottoman Empire involved, right?
Correct, yes. So out of RP, if you guys want to hop into a different VC, because I'm about to have to fight this war, essentially. We'll get very hairy. Is that agreeable?
That is fine, yes.
Perfect, sounds good. Jay, do you mind hopping down, making a new VC, and then grabbing the Egypt player? So negotiating out of RP, I think it's very clear, right?
Yep,
cool.
gotcha.
Wonderful. All right, gentlemen, back to the more pressing issue. We are currently several months out from direct war. We already have the fleets patrolling off the coastline of the Qing to stop all maritime traffic. We will be blockading the coast entirely and seeking to take Formosa directly with a landing there as well. How goes the company's efforts to reinforce their troops in the region?
We have all battalions and also the Sepoy regiments about to push into Nepal. The war should start not long after yours has begun, so it should time well, drawing a few troops away from the Qing coastline, ready for your naval invasion.
Sounds good, perfect. We are having some logistical issues right now, as the Empire cannot maintain the necessary small arms that we currently require, so be warned on that account. We are doing what we can to stem this tide. This war happened, I must say, much quicker than expected. I did expect the Qing to at least negotiate with us instead of immediately banning opium, so we are kind of reacting more than preparing here.
Yep, understood. As far as economy-wise, just so you know, I am currently have all my construction attention focused on iron, so you can focus more on tools and stuff.
But iron is very needed, as is plenty more wood, of which I know the company is capable of producing large amounts. We are very much in need of that, at least till the war is over.
Canada is focusing on wood right now.
Cape is also focusing on wood.
Alright.
The Cape colony is focusing on wood.
Wonderful. That's good to hear. We do have a rather large deficit here, gentlemen, that we need to deal with, especially given the strategic necessity at this moment. I will be instituting wartime taxes here as well. Get a wee bit of lag here. It's very bad lag, actually. Boy. Oh, Kiki the Dodo is completely lagging out the game. What's this going on?
Yeah, it was before.
Oh. All right, the Tories are in power now as well, by the way, out of RP. So the government was falling apart. So a very conservative British government right now. All right, gentlemen, has begun. Let me know how your front is. Do you actually have a front over there on the border?
What, with Qing?
Yeah.
No. Just Nepal.
Beautiful, then. In that case, we are going to focus entirely right now on dealing with their fleet. I have a large portion of the British Navy off the coastline raiding their convoys. We should be able to destroy them economically and wait for some time before we take any direct landings. Hopefully we take Formosa, we can get the Qing to negotiate, but if needed, we will land on the Qing proper. We also have 4 years to do that journal entry as well. Turn music back on because I think the lag is actually Kinky Dodo, not me. Let's see. Alrighty, so obviously the UK right now is fully in war. We did not expect this to happen. We had Queen Victoria coronated immediately. Well, actually, William Lamb, an arrogant political operator, and we are a reformer, but you got to remember, intelligentsia and reformers didn't mean they were anti-war in this time period. Intelligentsia meant something very different than what I think we perceive it to be now. We have engaged several fleets off the coastline of the Qing in the East China Sea, and are of course making a very short work of their navy there. How are we doing on our own ship production here? We have all the men at wars that we need. We still need a lot of men at arms and artillery, which once those construction buildings are done, we should be looking good on more arms industry. We need to find new silk imports too. That's going to hurt the economy. From the French, we have to.
And Smart, I can increase silk. It's just a lack of construction capacity at the moment.
Oh, I know. Is it one of the mod updates they changed that everyone has really low construction?
I don't know.
Huh. I did not see this in the change log or hear any talks about this.
I think all of the construction methods are down by 1 point.
Okay.
Wait, why did we mess around with construction?
I don't know. I was not involved with that. I did political discord.
I think in the update it said when you get to the next level, it's not like the nation runs away with production from others.
It does tend to happen like that, but it also players just need to limit themselves. Representing his constituents in the armed forces, Roland Hill has issued a formal statement to the British government to pass secret police. Wouldn't be a bad idea. Britain certainly had it in this time period. All right, we have sunk most of their remaining fleets and we're getting their convoys at this point. I am going to go ahead and put in motion a naval invasion of Formosa directly. Our armies were not mobilized. Actually, we got to deal with this armed goods crisis. It's really annoying when you start in a deficit. For our next update for the mod, we got to fix the deficits these countries have on some of this stuff if we're going to nerf construction like this.
Yeah, I don't know why they've done this.
That's pretty actually bad. That's really bad, actually. It makes no sense that a country like the UK wouldn't have the resources to fight these wars or be able to build up what is needed for it very quickly. Well, despite our good shortages, I'm going to see what we can do about go ahead and launching an invasion on Formosa regardless. We should still be able to make short work of their armies there, as they are very backwards after all. They even have a navy left. They technically do. Next small contingent of the navy up north. Lag is fucking annoying.
Lord Melbourne.
What can I do for you, Foreign Minister?
The conference between the Ottoman Empire and Egypt was what I believe a success.
Good. Anything definitively decided?
We defended Egypt's holding of the Levant territories. The Egyptians did die for that, and they do fall under the banner of our protection. So we told the Ottoman Empire that basically we're going to stand by the status quo and we won't budge on that. And as repayment for that, the Egyptian government has agreed to drop its claim on Crete and has agreed to allow us to form a naval base if we do wish.
In Crete?
In Crete, in the island of Crete. In the
That would be a very good idea indeed, I think. A good compliment to Malta, further east in the Mediterranean. Were there any other stipulations or terms for that?
Nope. I mean, it's their... they're repaying us for protecting their interests in the Levant. I mean, they refused to drop claims on the Levant, so then we doubled down and told the Ottoman Empire that if they wish to spill blood over these territories, then they might have to. But
Foreign Minister, we both know they won't after the thrashing we gave them not too long ago. I don't think there's any worry of that old dog learning any new tricks.
I completely agree. So, we have secured some foothold.
That's good to hear. We will definitely agree to the terms on the naval base in Crete. Very valuable strategically, and we should pursue that immediately before they change their minds. But overall, fantastically well done job, and what I was hoping for entirely, if not more.
Of course. I'm at your
We will have a naval invasion of Formosa in exactly 4 weeks. We are still really struggling to catch up with our needed good production here.
How is the war?
It's doing all right. There was a huge change in the mob where they debuffed construction, so you can build buildings very slowly now. So you can't basically build up what you need for military very quickly, so it's kind of fucking us. But beyond that, it's all right. On navally, we have absolutely destroyed them. What's the cost for their part of the war? Very costly.
Are we able to blockade?
Yeah, we are right now. They have no convoys getting through, so their trade is gone. Their economy is dropping right now. We are running a bit of a deficit still, though.
Nothing that we can't fix. I mean, if we keep granting certain favors here and there, we'll be able to get some economics.
Group. We are really needing more iron, though, as this is a full-blown crisis.
Who could we go speak to for iron?
We've got enough land sorted out internally. We just need to build it.
Yeah, we need time. Free trade principles are all good and fine and something we should work towards, but there's no reason, if we can't develop it within the company or the empire, we should outsource. For valuable goods, at least, like iron. For grain, we certainly should not be producing. We are really going to need more cotton here.
What's your current construction capacity at?
65.
Yeah, it's 45.
How much is yours?
45.
No.
And that's with 10 construction sectors.
I've got 15. I'm just gonna need to spam though, unfortunately. I hate to do that shit, but this is a little ridiculous. Oh, there's a sizable contingent of the Qing's Navy, but we are going to easily sink it here off the coastline of Zhejiang. Nice. Wonderful. I mean, no surprise that those floating junks, I think the name that they've given them is particularly fitting here, are going to the bottom of the Chinese Sea. Frost has conceded defeat in the debates. A faction of the trade unionists have thrown their weight behind the secret police. I'm sorry, what? Alrighty. Are the trade unions relevant right now? They shouldn't be. 36, I don't think. No, they're not. Brazil's losing their wars? They're struggling there, aren't they?
Oh, shit.
Foreign Minister, can you go take a trip to Rio? Let's take advantage of this and offer them aid in their current conflicts in exchange for trade rights, trade agreements, and preferred trade access for iron in the future? Well, thank you. We'll offer any military aid they desire if needed. A minor conflict for us. Intelligence have expressed their concerns about government decisions clearly favoring the interests of the industrialists. During this time period, that would be very true.
What's the leader's name?
That'd be Pedro de Braganza, I believe. He is in... Let's see, where is he at? Is there a Brazil in this game?
Maybe.
Yep, with Charles.
Oh, Charles.
That's Charles. The hell is he?
Oh, Regent. Okay.
Alright, yeah. Good luck.
So, sorry, can you rehash what...
So we're willing to intervene and provide any either arms or direct intervention required to win the wars they're facing, the civil wars, the rebels. In exchange, we want a trade deal with them, preferred trading access for basic goods like iron and cotton.
Got it.
You know, this navy here is actually giving us a little bit of an issue. There's quite a lot of them swarming our ships right now. What's it, Patrick? A long until invasion. I bet that is the naval invasion ships there, I'd imagine. No, they're fighting on the front. Is that what this is? It is. I think this is the landing.
This is the landing, yeah.
Oh. My brain was thinking this was a naval battle and confused why we weren't destroying them. Okay, so we are attempting to land on the beaches of Formosa right now. Very, very tough fighters, but we are winning it, thankfully, from the looks of things here.
They have high defense. Why is the defense so high?
Out of RP, the reason that Formosa was never actually invaded, or why it wasn't demanded in the peace conference, is because it was so defensible and the British government didn't want to deal with the smoke, but we do. But yeah, their defense being high is fucking weird. Taiwan is very hard to invade. We are routing them back into the jungles and the mountains of the interior of the island, it looks like. Tough landing, but General Hugh has made short work of them. Well, medium work of them, I suppose.
As I'm sure you can imagine, a direct assault of the Himalayas is difficult to read.
Nonsense!
But
we fought in hills in Britain in the training camps. It's the same thing, isn't it? I see no difference between the great hills of central England and the large mountains of the Himalayas. It's nonsensical. Same thing. I've never been there, but I assume.
I tend to climb it with nothing but my pipe and some fur.
Yeah, right. A true English gentleman can acclimatize to any situation. In the Himalayas. No excuses. Oh man, they actually were pretty tough to beat there. Exhausted. There we go. Well, the silk crisis is very bad right now in Britain. We'd probably be having those shortages everywhere at the moment.
Why is it you short on silk?
Sorry?
Why is it you short on silk?
Yes. Because we were importing tons from the Qing, but we're at war, obviously, and...
Yeah, of course. I'm sure I'll sort something out soon.
We also really need to negotiate a trade deal for wood here. Be a good chance to make overtures to the Romanovs, perhaps, when the foreign minister's returns. Oh, and we are struggling now.
You're struggling. You're on Taiwan.
I know, but they have 240 soldiers there. Let's see. Aggressive maneuver chance. Fuck it. I'm going in.
I mean, look, he's got 200 there. He's got 80 with me. He's only got 100 left on the mainland. Might be worth getting another invasion in Beijing now, if you can.
Double invasions aren't allowed, are they? Oh, you mean to go into the Qing, right?
Yeah.
That's fair. I don't know if we have the soldiers for that, because I can't get more given like this fucking shortage we have of all these arms.
Yeah.
That's not a bad idea.
I mean, the second my war's finished, it shouldn't be too long now. I'll send you all my weapons.
Bill along on the minds of the government sits in a deadlock. John Frost faction trade unions has the numbers to carry the secret police. Beautiful. Yeah, we're getting destroyed here. The fuck is our offense so low? Must be an equipment issue. That's all I can think of. Yep. Oh god, our small arms are so bad. You're taking a lot of them, brother. Just a heads up.
Me?
Yeah, I believe so. What am I looking at? Yeah, the oh my god, the barracks of India. Yep.
All right.
You got to win that war real quick. Welcome back, Foreign Minister.
The Brazilians have agreed to establish an export route, and we're going to send arms and aid once that route is established.
Very well.
And he is expanding his iron works right now, so that's good.
It might have been because I switched to muskets for a second there, but then a tick didn't happen. That's weird. I think that's what it was. Yep. Fuck up.
What happened?
I switched for a moment. I clicked muskets because I forgot that it takes a minute to change them. I switched right back and I might have changed it. Fucked me on that. Yep, equipment adjustments. God damn it, I fucked up. We are still winning this somehow. I think. That definitely needs to be skilled, not instantaneous. We're gonna get beat here because of that.
Greetings. Oh, two Sicilies. I can meet with you down below.
Yes, I'm just gonna.
How long do we have before we land? 4 weeks. Oh, we're pushing again? Somehow? Don't question it? This is looking good. We are going to drive them off the island, I think.
How did that happen?
I don't know. No idea. Just victory warfare things.
They're in a deficit now on my side. Shouldn't be long.
I'm just building on the arms industry, which is going to kind of screw us in the early game economic-wise, but we've got no choice here. We win the War of the Qing, it's all worth it. Get plenty. Obviously, Governor, we will need to do something about those, the Sikhs at some point. I'm sure you're aware. Obviously, we have many of the Indian princes to deal with first, but I do hope the company is considering the dangers of the West and the opium-producing territories there that could easily fall into the hands of the enemies of the Empire.
Yeah, we are working our way around it. It's still a little bit volatile, that area right now, so we're just going to let things settle for a moment, and then we're going to work our claws in.
Fantastic. Wonderful. We have secured Formosa. I think a swift stroke at this point is what we are looking for.
They've offered me a peace to conquer the Himalayas and also give them war reps, which is not going to happen. Like half invaded it.
You know how barbarians are. They don't understand the fine points of diplomacy. Nor warfare. I haven't intercepted our forces preparing to land there. I probably did not send enough men, but I didn't expect Formosa to fall that quickly. One. Perfect. We are attempting to land again. Oh, it's going to be a tough one. Thankfully, they rolled a blunder. A Willy Collie. Hey, Scottish. Surveyor. Arrogant.
You should have this. Your navy should make it up.
Sorry?
Your navy should help you with this to get it, definitely.
It doesn't contribute, I don't believe.
Yeah, the strength of your navy contributes to the naval landing because they support your troops.
Oh. For difficult landing? I thought it was only in terms of like the actual width of the navy compared to the troops.
I'm not sure about that.
I thought you actually knew for certain. My understanding of it is that explicitly you get debuffs for naval landings when the amount of your flotillas is less than the amount of your divisions you are landing with, I should say battalions, which gives you debuffs. If you have it over and you're completely fine in terms of landing, then you have no issues. You'll just get difficult landings sometimes based on terrain. Naval bombardment should be a fucking thing, but there's no way in fuck the Vic devs are going to put that in with, you know, the garbage fire that was released. We are going to take the land here on the southern tip. Actually, we're going a little
east. If you
east.
saw 200,000 men of your enemies just standing along the beach, you would just open fire at them. So,
well, they did their job. They brought the troops to the coastline, and now they're drinking martinis and watching and cheering. As you do, right?
Of course.
I'm good here. I would really like to open up another naval invasion, but we don't have the forces for it. What else does our government currently need right now? Who's in charge? Let me think about who's leaving again. It's the Tories. Very hyper-conservative. Got our intelligentsia, reformer, prime minister. Be a lot of hostility between them. We got policing, honestly. This war has taken a pretty heavy toll on the economy, I will say. Not like a sickness, really. Like a cotton too, and like of opium. So many goods coming from the Qing.
I'll be worth it.
Yeah, I'm slipping for Zolix. Also, thank you for the prime, Scythe. Appreciate that, man. How's our economy looking? All good. We have landed, but they do have a considerable force here. I'm going to use them as a delaying action, and then we're going to drop Hugh on the doorstep of Beijing. If we take the imperial capital, I think there's a pretty good chance here that we'll be able to negotiate with the government.
Hello.
Oh there. Who is this?
I am from the Congress Courier, one of the most prestigious newspapers in Poland, and I'm reporting on foreign affairs and foreign conflicts. And I wanted to ask you about the war that is going on in China.
Ah, rather. I always have time for a journalist. Yes, we have a ongoing military action, obviously in the Qing, given their capturing of proud British traders whose licenses for export were perhaps a little expired was unacceptable, as well as the firing on ships in the Bay of Macau, something that broke generations of treaties. Given this, we made very reasonable requests of the imperial government and showed all due consideration in Beijing, where we were rebuffed and given simple hostilities and absurd demands, and as such we have prevented this war in order to ensure the business interests of the empire are maintained in the Qing. It's going quite well. The island of Formosa has fallen, and we are in the process of harrying north through the hinterlands of the southern, I don't know what it is. The Chinese geography always got away from me. Southern Qing, we'll go with that.
And what are your demands when you end this war?
Our demands are quite simple, to no longer have any barriers to trade between us or any other European nation who so wish. The establishment of a trading port like Macau in the southern periphery south of Canton. The ceding of Formosa to act as a strategic naval and military garrison. The liberating of the Korean peninsula, as well as proper economic recompense for our actions here in the Qing.
And who am I talking to credit this information?
You were talking with the Prime Minister himself. I am Prime Minister Lam.
Well, I'm honored.
I always have time for a good journalist. What publication did you say you were with?
The Congress Courier. The article is gonna be released in the next months.
Oh, I see. Very well,
It
very
is
well.
a special edition.
You know, I've written in a few journals myself. I have to say I'm pretty good with word and pen, as a proper Englishman should, a good gentleman. I'll have to look over the writing. Glad to hear that.
I've read your newspapers. I'm a fan, really.
I'm glad to hear that. Always good to meet a fan. Do you want me to sign something, or?
You can sign something if you want.
Okay, of course. Here, let me go ahead and a little short note on there. I do have a war to attend to, though. I must get back to that.
Then I wish you good luck in the war. I'm gonna cover the Chinese side of this war to give it a neutral perspective to the
Of course.
readers. And I thank you for your time.
I should mention, though, remember, the Chinese lie through their teeth.
They are, yes, I've heard they're also executing Westerners at will at the moment, so I'd be very wary.
And I would caution any man you send there to be very worried for his life.
Then I'm gonna send my apprentice and not go down there myself. Thank you for the warning.
A wise decision.
And yeah.
All right, listen, they gotta earn their way. Am I right? Disposable labor.
Exactly.
Empires are built on it.
My position comes with a lot of perks, and to get here, I have done a lot of stuff that I wouldn't do myself now. I'm gonna say that. Then I wish you good luck, and bye.
Wonderful. We do have the situation of Russia expanding dramatically in Central Asia. We are going to need to attend to this. We have not been spoken to about this, and that is quite unacceptable. Built along the minds of the government sits in deadlock. Fraction of the trade unionists has the numbers to carry the secret police. We'll do it. Foreign Minister, what news?
So I spoke to the two Sicilies, and he was wondering if we would be willing to enter into a trade agreement with them.
The two Sicilies?
Yes, and invest into Italy. I said that I would have to get back to him on that.
They just aren't they the poor region of Italy?
Yes.
It's all the farmers, the poor people, yes.
That's rather bold.
Peasants.
Such a request.
It is, but he also asked us how the United Kingdom and His Majesty's government felt about a united Italy under the two Sicilies banner.
A united Italy? Is he mad?
Indeed. Of farmers.
Why on earth would we help participate in the creation of another dangerous European state? Napoleon did it. Those bastards followed him across Europe. Madness.
Really, the only good suggestion that this man had to offer was that we would be able to have maybe a possible flank on our adversaries in Central Europe, but that was
adversaries.
I think empowering another major power in the Mediterranean would be a very unwise decision, especially considering their treacherous past.
They fought with Napoleon. Britain remembers, but it is the days of those times are long gone by. We have many friends and some hostile powers in Europe. We have no reason to make another superstate in Southern Europe. No. I think not. Impetuous. No need to back such a thing. Trade deals with him, like any other minor inconsequential power, are agreeable, but he acts well above his station.
I kept asking what the United Kingdom would get out of it, and he just said a strong partner of Veritas. I just said we already have.
Well, you must remember, Foreign Minister, charity work is the Lord's work after all. I think there's other ways to do that, though.
Correct. We don't just do charity here.
No, I think not. Ever unfortunate.
I see no need to revisit the Two Sicilies and tell him of our decision. I'm sure that our lack of a response will give him a good...
There's a saying where I come from. Leave him on red.
Indeed.
I think that's the wise choice here. Foreign Minister, I am afraid, and I know you've been gallivanting all over the continents lately. I'm afraid I do have another very important mission for you. We need to make overtures to the Romanovs. As you know, the great game is still much afoot in Central Asia and the old lands of the Gajars. I find it very worrying that they're beginning to encroach on opium-producing regions there in undeveloped regions of Central Asia. But we need to speak with Russia. I mean, we fought the beast of France together. I hope there's still some good credit there. But we need to get on very simple terms in Central Asia, which is that the British also have an interest there. We are willing to cooperate, but their expansion without overtures to this government is unacceptable, and we need to speak properly on this. Can you fulfill this task?
Sure.
Fantastic. I knew I could count on you. Good man. Good man.
Hello, I'm here to negotiate a trade deal with the United Kingdom and its Prime Minister.
I could recognize that particular accent from a mile away. The Americans. What can I do for you? See here.
It's a damn yank.
Yes, sir. Recently, the Democrats won re-election, and with us in power, I wanted to push forward free trade deals so that the meddling Yankees can't impose their unjust tariffs on us.
Yes, the South.
Your Majesty.
I do apologize. I currently do have an ambassador in St. Petersburg negotiating over Central Asia, but I'm in a meeting with the American Vice President here, if you wouldn't mind. I can assure you Central Asia is being looked into at this moment, though. Anyway, back on task. Yes. Southern America is, well, a rather distasteful affair, but your cotton is king, as I suppose you Americans say. Free trade is a very important aspect of modern economic policy for Her Majesty's government, and we're glad to hear that Americans are pushing for such reasonable ideas. I don't suppose you're a fan of Adam Smith there, Mr. Calhoun?
Oh, yes, sir. I believe free trade is very good for both of us.
Good man. Good English writer. We've got plenty of those. You know, I'm something of a writer myself, but I won't bore you with the details. No time for such things. What are you looking for exactly here, Mr. Calhoun?
Oh, just free trade deal, no tariffs between our two countries. We'll be able to sell our cotton to you. We'll be able to buy industrial goods.
Oh, that's quite agreeable. I like the sound of that. I would wish to ask, though, you are continuing to expand, I hope, the plantations of cotton in the South?
Yes, that is correct.
Wonderful. That's exactly what I wanted to hear. In that case, I see no reason not to pursue this for now. Till such time as it is of no benefit to either of us. Very well. Free trade from the Americans. Good to hear. Good to hear, my man.
Very good. Well,
we'll write up the terms of the agreement. Very well. Vice President, safe travels back to the Americas. Colonials. They always have the oddest accents.
Are you aware that they took Formosa back?
Fuck, how? How the fuck did they land a navy? Vicky 3, I love you. Absolutely absurd.
Your Majesty, can you receive me right now?
I can indeed. What can I do for you, Ambassador?
Thank you. I'm an ambassador from the Khan of Kiva, and as you may know, the Russian bear has been expanding across Central Asia for too long, and it is a state. And as a Central Asian state, we are also very aware that Russia has great ambitions and would like to see us under their control for our rich resources. What is your concern, opium?
Ah, yes, it is a rather useful drug indeed. We are very concerned about the situation in Central Asia. I thought a bit of an understanding with those hairy bastards in the east, but it seems that they have not consulted us before taking the sweet opium fields of Uzbekia. I can assure you we're very much looking into this situation and trying to secure it. The Khanate of Khiva is, to speak plain with you, sir, no great relevance to Her Majesty's government, but the demilitarization and a balance of power with the Russians in the region is very much so. We are looking into it, and I do have a foreign minister currently speaking with the Romanovs in St. Petersburg.
It is important that we elevate the situation of the realm, as my ancestors, my liege's ancestors rather, did rather infamous mistakes of enslaving Russians, then they surrendered. This is an horrendous act, a dishonorable act, and for that reason, Russia views us as a legitimate conquest. As such, I would like to propose the solution to that as the...
Make it quick, man. I am fighting a war here. What are you proposing?
So, I propose that the Great Khan will ban the practice of slavery in Khiva, and that should take away their legitimacy at fighting us. So after that, you may know that they have only an interest in power mongering, and that they may reach even further than Central Asia, maybe even more southeast.
I know, it's of grave concern. Again, what are you proposing here?
I'm proposing that Khiva bans slavery, and Khiva receives support from the United Kingdom of Great Britain and the Northern, and actually all of Ireland.
We are all for the abolition of slavery here in the United Kingdom, but you are not speaking with some backroom intelligentsia bourgeoisie seeking interest, fat on spoils of wealth. I am a politician, man. You'll need to offer me something more than that.
Well, I would also offer you, the Great Khan would probably also offer you trade agreement, as it would be probably beneficial, because as we know, the British Empire is the largest monopoly on this earth, and as such, I'm going to also propose that you have free access to our market, including all of our opium, and free trade should be
Free trade and
implemented.
sole importing of your opium would be something we could be interested in.
I have a suggestion. What if Khiva was to join the company, under the company as a trade partner?
An intriguing suggestion.
For full protection from not only the company but the United Kingdom.
This is a very good proposal indeed. I shall go back to the Great Khan and signal him.
I do recommend you not wait too
Oh.
long. I will be forced into negotiations with the Russians very soon, and this may slip away very quickly.
I'd be very clear to the Khan that this will involve a certain matter of cooperation on your part. We will expect you to use British currency.
Thank you for the raid,
pounds,
Lou. If you're still here, appreciate that, man. What's up, guys? We are in the middle of a Victoria 3 game as United Kingdom role-playing. We're in a war of the Qing. It's not going very well, too. So,
the British economy is strong. I have no such objection to participating in the greatest economy of the world. As such, I'm going to depart now to Kiva to discuss this with my great Khan.
Very well.
Thank you for your visit.
What the fuck are we losing with 54 defense?
Hello, this is
Victoria 3.
The Spanish envoy.
Ambassador, welcome.
Hello, yeah. We are looking to speak to British diplomats. There seem to be quite a couple. If this is not a good time, we can pick it up later.
No. We are engaging the enemy as we speak in the Far East. I see that the Carlos have won the war.
Yes, the Queen's forces were unable to reach the front in time, and we have taken Madrid and Barcelona simultaneously. And now we are quite conservative.
That is.
But we shall spread absolutism and Catholicism to natives.
Catholicism and conservatism from the Carlist. I must say, I am shocked.
Yeah, unexpected. I know. Spanish Inquisition. We're keeping that going.
I always thought you were very liberal people. Why the sudden change of heart?
Yeah.
No. It's just a joke. I apologize, Ambassador.
Yeah.
What exactly are you seeking?
I'm seeking to ask about our Caribbean possessions. The Americans have reached out to us with
possessions.
Yeah, our Caribbean possessions. Cuba and Puerto Rico.
Indeed. What remains of your colonial empire? What exactly? How do we fit into this?
So we were contacted by Americans about them acquiring those possessions.
Ooh, that we do not like the sound of very much. What is the position of your government?
So we need the money to rebuild our nation after the Civil War. The Queen's liberals destroyed this nation, and we need to rebuild it from the ground up. And we need the money, so
Might we offer you an alternative?
What are you offering?
If you are interested in getting rid of your colonies for a price, I can assure you no one can pay better than the Empire.
Name your price.
You name yours. What did the Americans offer you?
They offered us 1,300,000 for Cuba and Puerto Rico.
Impoverished as always, I see. How does 2 million for both of those possessions sound in British crown sterling, of course? Pound sterling?
2 million does sound good.
We'd even throw in some trade exports to help you regrow your economy.
Hey guys, everyone that natively invading people's capitals is against the rules. It has to be an adjacent state.
In Beijing?
When's that happen, mate?
Correct.
I thought if it's really far from the coastline, you could though, because you have to fight your way to it.
Oh no, no.
Okay, I'll go through Hebei then next time. That's my bad. Apologize.
Okay.
Can you also actually? I just need to go around it, I guess. It's just the shit that's happening in this war is funky, but it's Vicky 3, so it's fine.
Yeah, tell me about it.
No, my friend.
Okay, thank you.
I'll send the Navy to go ahead and I think guard the coastline this time. When we take Formosa, we'll sit on that, and then we'll probably go in through Guangdong and then Hebei. Back to negotiations. I apologize. 2 million pounds sterling for the transfer of Cuba as a crown colony to Her Majesty's government and the acquiring of Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico is also a colony.
Yes, rather.
But yeah, we like that offer. The Americans might not like it though when we told them about it.
We can handle the Americans, I assure you.
Okay then. That sounds good. I will go tell them, just so they are not blindsided.
Of course, we would not want to blindside them. While you were interested in selling colonies, I don't suppose you would I can see that you're looking very much inward, spiritually and in terms of economics. I don't suppose the Philippines is also something that you were looking to get off your hands for a fair sum?
No, our colonies in Africa and Asia are of utmost importance to. They are our basis to spread,
of course,
the light of Catholicism.
I understand completely.
Those continents.
Absolutely. All right, very well. I wish to ask about that. Before we do have you leading here, could we at least get a signature? We wouldn't want to blindside the Americans, but could we at least write up a treaty and get a signature from a Spanish envoy on it here?
And so, as I said, I would rather talk to the Americans as well, and then.
You believe to get more money out of the Americans?
It does sound like you're trying to start a bidding war here, I'm afraid.
Indeed.
No, we just don't want to blindside them. As we said, we did verbally agree, and then the idea occurred to also ask the British.
I understand. We're not blind. You're not blinding them at all. I'm not asking for you to make a public proclamation. I'm asking for you to sign on to this deal before you go and speak with them.
Isn't a treaty a public proclamation?
Sure, have you been in government long?
No, we just won the war.
Well, let me explain something to you. Treaties are very rarely public, my friend. They can be, certainly if needed, but the most important ones are very much behind closed doors. I can assure you of that.
Okay, that's interesting to know.
I can have my staff write up a treaty here in probably less than half an hour. And you'll be on your way. You can not blindside the Americans. We can have talks after. That's fine. But again, just, to make sure that we have at least something on paper here.
Sure. But if we have it on paper and then Americans are upset about it, I don't want to cause a war between.
I don't intend to show them this paper. Do you?
No, but then.
What is the issue?
I also don't want to be looked at as like backing out of the treaties.
Again, I mean, this is a private document. I don't quite understand what you're suggesting here.
Also, if we write up a treaty and I sign it, and then the Americans object to.
As I said, if they object, we can handle the Americans.
Let them object. It would not be your holding to worry.
Sure, you're speaking with a representative of Her Majesty's government, the preeminent naval and military force on the planet. I can assure you, there's nothing good diplomacy and a heavy backhand can't solve.
Okay, so if Americans object, you are willing to go to war with Americans?
As I said, heavy backhand is somehow needed. I mean, the Lord says that sometimes violence is very necessary. A good husband beats their children, beats their wife, beats their enemies even. It's just a necessary part of life. Yes, we'll deal with the Americans. Worry not, Ambassador. I'm sure you can understand where we're coming from there.
No, I understand.
Oh, of course. Surely. Good Catholic. Yes, certainly.
Yes. Yeah, we can. I'm willing to create this treaty.
Right. Well, I'll have my heads write up something. We'll have your signature on there, and you can be well on your way to go speak with the Americans and not blindside them. It's been a pleasure, Ambassador. Perhaps some tea while you wait. We're in rather short supply with the Qing right now, but there is still some about.
No, thank you very much.
Very well. It looks like we have the beginnings of a fantastic deal. Do let us know what the Americans say and anything we can do to help.
Okay. And sorry, out of RP, what the treaty is going to be?
2 million British pounds for the transfer of Cuba and Puerto Rico.
No, I mean where? Like, is it in the RP channel? Is it like PMs? How does it work?
Oh, to fight a war?
No, the treaty.
Oh, it can be behind closed doors. When we make it public, if we want to make it public, then we do an RP statement for it, like in the public channels. But you can make deals behind closed doors as long as, all the parties involved are fine with it and stuff.
And a GC, I'm assuming.
No, actually, you don't need to even tell a DC. We recommend you message them at least and let them know if there's a backroom deal going on. But for things like this, it's a lot more of a gray area. Usually it's for the bigger agreements.
But then
there is also a GC in here, by the way, so that is covered too.
But then it's because I already kind of said yes to Americans, and then it occurred to me that British might have something to say about that.
I mean, you could do a public statement about it, but you don't have to do one. I mean, usually you'd probably want to do one after, but
No, I'm saying that if I already made a deal with the
No,
American
only if it's a signed document, but you have to follow through with it.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Back on verbal.
Yeah. Verbal agreements can be broken. If they're written, they can't, without obviously talking to a GC and getting permission. Yep.
So that's what I'm saying, like...
Did you ever
we
write
did a verbal
anything?
agreement
Did you
now.
write up an RP statement?
No. But I'm saying, like, we did a verbal agreement now as well.
This is breakable.
Yeah. Yeah, it's verbal.
Yes.
It's not an
Until
actual...
you signed a document.
Yep.
Okay, so, okay. Yeah, but the Americans didn't, like, ask me in RP to, like, write a treaty or anything.
Then, yeah, you're fine.
So I guess it's not that bad.
You don't have to then.
Okay,
Ireland. Regent, I can speak to you in Rio, or if you wish to speak to the Prime Minister.
Okay, I'll leave you to it. Thank you for this fruitful conversation.
Of course, farewell, Ambassador. It's good doing business with the Spaniards. And,
goodbye.
Farewell.
Farewell. Have a good one.
The fucking fool. 2 million! We're robbing him blind, gentlemen!
I know. Okay, I'm gonna go speak to the Regent here in Brazil.
Look at Ireland.
What the fuck is going on? Dude, that's so unrealistic. What the fuck? Alright, fine.
No, we're not. Oh.
That is fucking ridiculous.
Oh no.
What happened?
They landed in Ireland. I can do my navy like this. One moment, I have to deal with something. That is ridiculous, dude. How the fuck would you get 140,000 Qing soldiers across? Oh, damn it. They won't even get there in time either.
Hello, Britain. I know this is a bit unbecoming, but may I request to know? I've heard reports of a foreign power invading the British Isles.
Indeed, the Qing's forces managed to get past the entire fleet of the British Navy and land in Ireland of 150,000 men. Don't ask me how. We're attempting to deal with it.
Ah, right. Well, okay. Well, this is quite.
We don't understand the logistics either, but it is what it is. We're dealing with it.
This is shaking. This is going to shake up the entire standard of European power. I mean, the Chinese seem to have invented some sort of super boats or something. I don't know.
I don't know what vessels they managed to use to get there, but they're clearly quite advanced.
I think this begets some sort of intervention in China of Europe, or maybe that we all just submit to their rule if they're that advanced.
He's pulling his troops out now. Just feel free to take it back as quick as you can.
I mean, on the one hand, I should have had like naval forces like patrolling the British Isles. Like I just.
No, it don't matter. It's completely unrealistic. It doesn't matter.
Hold on. So I want to clarify. The Qing at this time, the navy that they had were just a bunch of coastal defense ships that could barely get past like the coastal regions. They could not survive monsoons. Like, so somehow these super barks were made that got all the way to the Britons. Kind of hilarious, though. I mean, like,
don't get me wrong, it's based, but
yeah, it is. Fucking funny.
I mean, there are no monsters in the channel, so.
There are of trying to get out of the fucking Qing's region. They get past fucking Indonesia or to go across the Pacific, you got to deal with that shit. I mean, even British ships routinely fucking crashed this time period, and they were the most advanced in the world.
Wouldn't there a quicker way to would be to go like up and over and like across the North Pole?
No, you couldn't get through the ice.
Ah, well, no, yeah, that's true. Actually, I forgot we melted it all.
Yeah.
All right.
It's a very different world we live in with all the hot chemical fumes slowly choking us to death.
Oh yeah, there were none of that in the 1800s.
All my
Prime Minister.
Yes.
The Brazilian regent is requesting that we provide more aid to this government. If you want to present your case, regent, you're more than welcome.
We currently do have a case where New Granada is attempting to intervene to subjugate Cabanos. They're taking advantage of this situation. Please notify the government of New Granada that Britain will intervene on per behalf of, or have to intervene in New Granada if they continue with this.
We've warned them that. They didn't care.
Well,
they seem to be that they seem to be that the New Granadan government seems to think that Britain is not a scary thing.
Well, I mean, to be fair, we were just navally invaded by a magical Qing fleet, so I do understand that.
We will also suggest, and with Britain's acceptance of this offer, I will also state that Pedro will be seeking a Hanoverian or English wife, if that is something you would wish to.
I'm sure a good English noblewoman can be found for His Majesty.
Yes. As I am his regent, it is my task to set up him with an appropriate wife, so I will make sure he will be picking an English wife, as of showing of Britain's support to Brazil.
It's fantastic to hear. We are looking forward to that.
Yes.
Calling me incompetent for getting invaded in the Discord. I just never, like, to me, it's just so unrealistic. I didn't bother to, like, patrol the coastline. I mean, I could have clicked the button. It just was so absurd. Because Chinese, you gotta remember, Chinese ships can't make it to Britain. Like, that is something that cannot happen this time period. But I also, I guess, should have patrolled the coastline for Chinese barks coming from Asia.
Regent, let's go talk to New Granada and settle this matter.
Yes, if you wish to. Well.
Yes. Come on.
I was trying to think right now.
Prime Minister, now do you have time to get what I say about this?
I can barely hear you. 1 second.
Have you seen what Mannix is doing?
What is he doing?
He's New Granada. He's subjugating Cabanos.
I know, I see that. We intervened right now.
That is based. Fucking hell.
He's going right the fuck in. Jesus, man.
Oh my god.
He's trying to eat northern Brazil. God damn.
I cannot believe he's had the audacity.
Hey, Zolix, just FYI, you need to set your troops to advance the fronts in order to get us out of the Isles.
It should be on it. I'm playing it, by the way, not Zolix.
Okay,
Oh, I thought I put it on it. Yeah. Alright, cool. Go with. They swam to Britain? Yeah, that's about right. 140,000 Chinese soldiers swam, you know, around the Cape of Good Hope, up the western coastline of Africa, and landed stealthily on the Irish coast. Listen, they used bamboo flotillas, so it's fine.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can. What can I do for you, Master?
All right. I wanted to meet with you about the uncontrolled Russian expansion in Central Asia.
Yes, it's quite out of hand. I did have the foreign minister speaking with them, and I need to hear back relating to that, but we did already have talks with them.
About some sort of a guarantee of British aid in case Russia attempts to invade Afghanistan.
That is a very big worry now that they border you. What are you offering us?
I am offering, in the case of a Russian attack, exclusive opium export rights to the British.
You do understand we already have quite a lot of opium, don't you?
I can guarantee you Afghanistan's opium is cheap.
Yeah, of course, but in large quantities at that point, the risk of military armed conflict with a major power is not quite worth a reduction in prices of opium exports.
Honestly, I see a Russian invasion of Afghanistan as a threat to you.
Perhaps.
I would think that if Afghanistan were to fall to Russia, then it would only be a matter of time until they could overpower the East India Company.
Damn it, my general just fucking disappeared again. Bear with me one moment here. Doing like 10 things at once.
The East India Company does concur with Afghanistan's issues, but in order to get our protection, we would need to know what you would offer in return, apart from just exclusive opium trade rights, which is something that we grow ourselves.
I would be interested in closer relations between both of our states going forward into the future. I think that Afghanistan could be a powerful ally in the Middle East.
Hmm. This will take some thought.
Besides your possessions that you actively hold, you don't have that many friends in the region. I can fix that.
And how could you fix that?
By myself being a friend of Britain.
I see.
Which isn't a small thing.
And what if we were to tell you that the Sikh Empire had approached us with the same offer?
In return for what? The Russians don't have a border with the Sikhs.
Business between. I think you'll find they do.
Maybe they do, but I highly doubt that the Russians would invade the Sikhs before they'd invade us.
I don't think the Russians would invade Afghanistan, honestly. What evidence do you have of such thing?
I believe there's precedent. He has just invaded several Islamic states.
Excuse me. May I speak with a British representative here?
I am the Prime Minister. What can I do for you?
We have received reports that you were attempting to buy Cuba and Puerto Rico. Is this true?
They did offer. It was up on the market, it sounds like. So yes, we did enter into the bidding.
We would inform you that this would be a dangerous escalation. We view this, as Southerners, we view this as part of our territories that we rightfully should own, and we're advising that I think
I always thought Jackson was much more interesting in slaughtering natives off in the West. I didn't know he cared about the Caribbean.
This is particularly an interest of the Vice President, who has been
Calhoun.
pushing for this a lot. He's
The planter.
Yeah, he's been on about it in Congress. He's been
The man who
in the
vocally
newspapers.
refers to the people who work in Cuba as things I will not repeat in polite company. That Calhoun?
Yeah.
Interesting.
He doesn't necessarily want it for. He wants it for other reasons. I'm not gonna speak out this. I know that topic.
As far as I'm aware, currently the slave population of America is entirely stable, and you have not even imported slaves from
I'm not
African
here to
regions
negotiate-
for around
I'm not
60
here to
years. I'm just
I'm not
trying to
here to
understand your motivations here, as they seem very
I'm
opposed.
not the vice president. I'm
No,
not the
you're
vice
not.
president here.
No, you're
I
not.
can't speak with him. I can request a.
I would love
vice
to speak with
president,
him. I'm
so-
very curious to understand why the Southern Planters have changed a foreign policy that has lasted for 60 years.
I will go speak with him right now.
Fantastic.
Am I to take back to my nation that you are denying this? All
I think until the Russians postured themselves for an invasion of Afghanistan, the East India Company was not going to make any diplomatic actions currently. Should it happen, we will probably step in some capacity.
If I may, Kiva also wants us to be careful of the Russians, so we could get more people on our side. Because it's not only Afghanistan that is where we have Russian aggression.
If you can, I'll tell you what then, if you can get the support of not only Kiva, but the Sikh Empire, the Qajar Empire, and Afghanistan together, then the East India Company would support you if you can get guarantees from all of them.
Unfortunately, there is no chance that my nation is going to be having a peaceful reconciliation with the Sikh Empire after the constant invasion of my country by their people.
Not even if it means the defense of your nation.
unfortunately,
It's the very survival.
They may be even greater threat than the Russians to us, because as I have stated, there is precedent for Russian invasion of Muslim countries, but there is definitely precedent for Sikh invasion of Afghanistan specifically.
Okay, they just took back Formosa while I had a full fleet patrolling the coastline. That doesn't make any fucking sense. Oh fuck! This time I even patrolled the coastline. How the fuck did they get it back? Oh, is Vicky 3 doing Vicky 3 things? Did he even land out of RP?
I've got no idea.
Dude, what the fuck? Come on. They gotta fix their war system. This shit's ridiculous. I'm gonna go ask him out of RP to see if it was a game bug or if he got past my fleet somehow. Yeah.
So,
Out of RP really quickly. Did you invade Formosa or did it a game bug?
No, I took Formosa back.
With a full fleet surrounding it?
Yep,
Oh, Vicky 3. All right, sounds good.
We did something like
the Qing Navy.
That way.
As a naval file, this hurts so much.
What's going on?
They got past the whole British fleet and managed to invade Formosa again. Dude. Every time I start to enjoy war in this game, shit like this happens, and it's just like, okay.
I will return to my country and deliberate with my peers on what to do. Thank you for accepting my petition.
So I was told to meet with Prime Minister of the United Kingdom.
Yeah, well, man, I'm trying to figure this out. There's a
Hey, no worries,
there's
man.
100%
Just whatever.
engagement chance with like mechanics. I've looked through the code when I programmed the naval stuff. There's 100% engagement chance between like a fleet that is blocking the coastline of a country compared to if they're doing that. So how did they navally invade?
Do not know.
Because like if I'm unable to hold a country, even an island, even if I'm like, I mean, how the fuck do I even do this? You can't station garrisons there either, right? After you take the land, because the game doesn't let you do that.
Yeah, he just landed immediately and just.
I know, and just insta-capped it.
Yeah.
I was trying to think what to do here. Because if I can't hold for most of them, we can't win the war, because that's how I get ticking war score to win it. Just trying to think what to do, because the game doesn't allow you to do this stuff. All right, I'm gonna try another naval invasion. I'm gonna put the whole 60-wit fleet to go ahead and. Doesn't matter. There's 100% engagement fleet, and if my fleet did not engage his fleet when he tried to land.
Greetings.
Oh, there.
I am an ambassador sent here from Russia. I wish to speak to the foreign policy minister of the United Kingdom.
I do believe he is not present at this moment. I would be happy to enter into negotiations with the Russians, but we currently are dealing with a situation, as you know, in the Qing.
It's the Prussians.
Yes.
Oh, the Prussians. Ah, yes. What can I do for you?
Well, we wish to speak to you about the question of German unification and where you stand on it.
German unification is a concept we don't take very kindly to be frank with you.
Oh, it will not be all Germany unified into one big major superstate. As you might know, the North and South Germans have various quite sizable differences, and Prussia is only interested in forming a North German Confederation. We also wish to add that the Austrians and Russians support this idea.
The Russians and the Austrians support German unification.
Well, on only a North German confederation. The Austrians obviously wish to keep their influence in the South German states.
The Russian Empire supports the unification of Germanic regions?
Yes, have you not heard of the Holy Alliance?
I am very aware of the Holy Alliance. The Holy Alliance doesn't justify the formation of Germany. But when did they change this policy?
Well, I don't know.
It's a very radical change in foreign policy. I'm curious to hear when this happened.
Well, we had a meeting where we discussed various manners, and
And the Russian Empire agreed to support the unification of Germany.
yes. I must add only the North German part. As North Germans and South Germans are two very different peoples with their different histories and religions.
That's true. I'm afraid, although we wish for, as always, good relations with the Prussians after our time fighting Napoleon together, we are unable to support such a ludicrous suggestion.
Okay, then I will now be making my leave.
Very well.
Okay. So I spoke to New Granada.
Wonderful.
They're not going to budge.
Very well. We have 100,000 troops currently fighting through the mountains of Colombia.
I warned them that we would be willing to even blockade them as well. I'm sure you already did that. So.
We do not. The whole Navy is currently being used in Asia.
Ow. Well. Forces.
If need be, Britain has free docking rights to Brazil if you need supply. If you need supply around there.
May the Ottoman ambassador ask, like, what exactly is going on in India?
Going on, sorry, what?
In India.
Yes, the Madras presidency.
Yeah, they had a rebellion that I couldn't join.
And this is being put down soon?
Yes, there is an issue with infamy.
Very well.
Oh. Are we restarting?
Yes, rehost.
Okay. That's been 2 hours already, Jesus. Dude, I don't have time to fucking keep modding like I did in the past, but we gotta figure out something with the Navy. This shit is just ridiculous.
To be fair, I am very surprised that Qing did what he did.
The British thing was funny in me, man. I don't care about that. What pisses me off is when, because I've looked at it, there's supposed to be 100% engagement chance if your Navy is patrolling a coastline when it gets navally invaded, but that didn't happen. And I've seen that not happen in previous wars that we've had too, which doesn't make any sense.
I've seen that happen as well. And
yeah.
It's realistically, if there was a Chinese fleet off the coast of Britain, I feel like the Navy would act.
Well, yeah, because the other big problem is, like, for example, if you're fighting a war and you take an island like Sicily, like Ireland, like Formosa, like anything, right? The game doesn't allow you to set garrisons to defend that land, right? So if you try to invade a mainland territory that is owned by a country, there are garrisons there in place that will protect the landing, right? When you occupy a piece of land, you are unable to move a division HQ to that region to protect it. So any island that you basically invade, if you can't protect it with your fleet, will just automatically get capitulated. That's the problem here.
You know what I think is going to happen? Paradox is going to release a DLC for it.
A naval DLC? Yeah, probably.
We know Paradox. They'll be like, oh, you want it to be garrisons? Yeah, there's a DLC for that.
Well, I mean, like, they've talked about the upcoming military changes do look actually pretty solid with some of the things they're doing. Multiple battles every front, and then you have some more ability to change how your divisions operate and things like that. They announced their new dev diary, but like, I don't dislike how they do the HQ system with your forces, but if you're unable to garrison occupied territories, when that's a front line, right, that's fine because you're going to have a front there. But if you can't have a front on an island and you can't place a garrison on the island, so you can't hold them if your Navy is unable to do it. I'm just trying to think about how we can even deal with that.
Just real quickly, can you give me like a heads up what is going on apart from the Qing War?
At War of Qing, we've been making overtures to Brazil. He's losing his civil wars. We offered to help. New Colombia tried to make a land grab for North Brazil. We intervened. We landed there. We're going to be buying Cuba and Puerto Rico for £2 million and pissed off the Americans. The Russians are expanding rapidly in Central Asia, but we're fighting major wars, so we can't intervene. But we're beginning to make deals with the other border states. I think that's 90% of it. We had a conference where we negotiated terms between Egypt and the Ottomans, and we've been granted Crete as well by the Egyptians for thanks.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Yep.
But yeah, I agree that the Qing. I don't even think they have it at the start. Their navy is just.
Yeah, no, they have a very small navy. It's coastal fleet. The player's using everything he can to win this war. That I completely respect. That boy fighting hard right now. The mechanical issues are what are fucking pissing me off, man. It reminds me of that war in the first multiplayer game we did that was really serious when I was in India. If y'all were in that game, when like there was that war between the Qing and Japan, and then like the Brits, and like, dude, we had the same issue. You couldn't hold any land that you took at all.
Wait, wasn't I the Qing in that?
No, you were not.
No, I think I was Russia.
I think you were Russia, yeah. Because I know it was Quaz on UK, it was XCB on Japan, and there's a player on Qing who is, I don't think he plays on our server anymore.
Yeah, but I agree that the war system in this game does need
They made some very good improvements on it, but
probably about 10% of where it needs to be.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, but knowing them, they'll lock it behind the DLC.
That's what I'm worried about. If they do that, yeah, that will be the death blow for their game. Then that's on them.
Is the Qing War already over, or is
They're still ongoing? I can't hold Formosa right now. So what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to navally invade again. I'm going to take it back. I'm going to put our biggest fleet to patrol the coastline. If they still navally invade it, I'm going to have a talk with that player and see if we get an agreement. Because if there are 70 ships at a line for the British Empire patrolling the coast of Taiwan, how the fuck are you going to land forces?
John's under the impression defend coastline doesn't count on occupied territory.
Sorry?
John's under the impression that putting your navy on defend coastline doesn't actually defend just an occupied territory.
Greetings. So
at all?
Hello.
One moment. If that's a mechanical thing, I need to talk to that player because I mean, what do we want? That's just your calls as GCs. I'm just a sub in this game, but if you're unable to patrol the fucking coastline, what do we do here? Because I can't win this war. Then I don't think.
I think you need to speak to John.
Well, even if we hold Taiwan, like we try to invade China like 3 times and we just lose every time. So I don't think we can win like the mainland.
No, if we can't control the coastline of Formosa, we can't hold it because we can't place a garrison there.
Yeah,
it's like the British military will take the island and then all just leave, and then no one defends the coastline or the land.
Yeah, yeah.
Have you tried?
The alternative is that we could put convoy raiding on both trade nodes next to it where they're invading from, but that has a very low percentage of actually chance of engaging a fleet that is moving through it is the problem.
Can you win just from invading the mainland now?
He has too many soldiers. I mean, I might be able to.
He's got to be sinking financially though.
Yes, he is probably.
His economy's growing.
Wait, what? I mean, he still has peasantry troops, doesn't he? He doesn't have actual line infantry, so.
I'm not too sure on that. I'll have to take a look when we get back in game here. I mean, we can just go into the mainland, but Formosa is the main war goal, so holding that is how we actually end the war, right? That's how we bring them to the table. So if we can't take that, it doesn't matter. Otherwise, we'd have to occupy most of the rest of the Qing.
Well, go speak to him, man.
I'm gonna go talk out RP. It's really frustrating me.
Right. How is everyone else's wars doing?
Yeah, fine. Madras presidency broke.
Now it's only bits.
Real quick, I want to have a quick out of RP talk. From what I've been told, I am actually unable to stop your fleets from navally invading the island of Formosa, and given it's the British Navy, I want to see if we could get an agreement out of RP that if I invade the island and I'm unable to stop you from re-invading it, that we just leave it, given that it's, I think, pretty grossly unrealistic to not have that be the case.
Yeah, like I
also can't set
the reason
garrisons
why
there.
I'm like it can't stop is because I never entered a sea tile because it's right beside me.
Yeah. You instantly took it, and
what
apparently if
I'm
it's
doing-
occupied territory, you can't patrol the coastline. And like, I can't engage your ships.
Yeah, I'm like I don't even patrol the coastline with it. I just charge with the naval invasion. But what do you call it? I'm like, all right, I'm gonna actually negotiate a treaty now since I'm not allowed to invade you, and I just keep pushing you out of me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you got to remember the Chinese fleet is not ships; those are like barges, right? You could not make it out of the monsoon.
No, I actually built. I modernized them. They're not barges. They're copper sheep.
The game doesn't reflect what the Chinese Navy is because it's Paradox and it's Vic 3, but like historically,
I know.
you have barges and you have no knowledge on how to modernize those ships, unless you want to do the RP track of I kidnapped some naval builders and in 4 years managed to teach them.
I want for how equal the war is. I'm not handing over Formosa.
But the issue right now, no, I'm just talking about the fact that every time I navally invade Formosa, mechanically, I am unable to stop you from retaking it because HQs do not allow me to set a garrison to defend the island, so I can't get troops there, right? They have to come from my HQ in Britain, and I'm unable to put them there. And I'm also unable to stop your fleets from navally invading because when I had a full fleet on island patrolling on Formosa, and your ships went right past them because apparently a GC told me that mechanically, if it's an occupied territory, you can't patrol the ship, the territory of it. You can't engage any fleets. So I'm unable to hold Formosa mechanically right now. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Okay. Because the problem is I can't hold Formosa with my proper power because you're sinking my bloody
Sure. But the mechanics of the game allows you to slip through an invasion fleet very easily.
Yeah.
When I convoy raid, I think I have a 40% chance or something like that engaging your fleet to stop you. Whereas with coastal, coastal protection, it's 100% chance, but it's 0% chance because it's occupied territory, which is really, I guess, a bug if that's true, what I've been told.
I feel like it's a bug. I'm like, especially with this thing. So
my proposal is if I re-invade it, is that you just don't navally invade it, given I have no ability to stop you. But in reality, you'd have to fight a full British contingent of their navy to get there, which is obviously not going to happen.
Yeah,
I still have to invade your mainland and fight there, but like, the issue is we had the mechanical problem. So I want to see if we get on the same page about that.
Yeah. To be fair, I wasn't expecting to hold out so bloody well.
Yeah. No, on land, you've been very solid. I mean, so Qing is we got a lot of fucking soldiers, dude. Qing is tough.
It's the VFP. You would have flattened me if I had the default soldiers, but the VFP gives you special generals like Liu Zhangbao, who has stalwart defender, plus 15 to defense, and I'm like, and a plus 10 to flat
Good
defense.
dude. Good generals win wars in Vicky 3. You can fight wars you have no business winning with good generals and admirals. Honestly.
Keeps rolling you and attack is he's an alcoholic, aggressive man. He has many perks that kills.
You see my generals, man, like they're okay, but they're not that great, which is funny.
Yeah, and I'm like, and I just have like random legendary people, like historical characters.
Yeah, true. I mean, China did have very good generals in the time period. It's just that their troop quality was so low, which the game also doesn't reflect. But that's fine.
Yeah, Oh no, it does. I'm like, they start really garbage, but I'm like, but most players will automatically give them guns.
Yeah.
And the traditional arms industry.
And I won't lie, you would have strangled me, but I had Russia trading with me in the beginning. I was also trading with the East Impact Company until you embarked.
I know. What fucked me in the early part of the war is I thought we'd negotiate for a little bit at least. Was that the construction debuff that got added to the mod? It made it so I couldn't like build up like the arms industry I need, which Britain doesn't automatically start with. Because I think like the way that the mod updated was such that construction was debuffed, but we didn't compensate by fixing like deficits in trade goods. So for the first part of the game, I had just a huge deficit of armed force, like arms industries and stuff like that.
Oh yeah,
which is rough. We're good now, but.
I was buying from Danish, I was buying from Americans, I was buying from literally everyone for arms. I'm still buying.
Not fair. That's a smart way to do it.
My industry, we bad the industry. It's just some random buildings.
It is a very interesting opium war. Like, it's not like the historical one where y'all just got dicked on. I mean, there was obviously some very unrealistic components to it, but like, you also did just hold out with your generals, so.
Yeah, I know. I pulled out my generals.
But the UK is all in on this war. We thought, obviously, in RP, like the Prime Minister thought we'd just roll over the Qing, but this has become quite harsh. But given how important this is now and how costly it's been, we kind of have no choice but to all in.
I mean, I only started pushing it back once the East Empire Company's war ended. And I was rolling East Empire Company for a bit until they managed to split up my front somehow.
Oh, the front shit is ridiculous
Yeah,
too.
no, I made them bleed for like 2 million and like 200,000 men, I think.
Yeah, because you were defending the Himalayas with those good generals. That fucks people up.
I get Beijing leaning over there, and I'm like, you're just staying in the hills defending.
Oh yeah, ridiculous. I mean, to be fair, trying to defend the Himalayas is easy, and trying to fight in the Himalayas is fucking ridiculous. I mean.
Yeah, we were just teaming waving each other.
Crazy.
Greetings, Belarus Zolok 77.
He's the main UK player. I'm subbing for him today. I'm only here for one session. Okay, so let's get on the same page then. I am naval invading Formosa. If I take it again, just don't re-navally invade it because I am unable to defend it mechanically right now. I am going to also, I'll try and invade you proper and land again. So then that's where we'll kind of fight out the rest of the war.
The problem is I just can't lower your damn war exhaustion because I'm not allowed to invade you.
Yeah, you can't get boats there. The fuck do you mean?
What?
I mean, no, you absolutely cannot invade me. Dude, do you know what kind of boats China was running right now? Let me get you a picture real quick.
Yeah, I know. I was sitting there like, I was like, he invaded me. I'm gonna invade him. Like, I'm like, I read the rules. Like, I'm not allowed to invade a homeland region. I was like, well, in Ireland, something different. I wonder if you have soldiers. I land there, and I'm like, there's no one here. I look at my offense. It was like one offense, and I was like, if you had literally anyone with a gun, you can push me back.
Oh yeah.
Just a bunch of random Chinese men landed with wooden boats, and I'm like, in the Irish are like, who are they? Where have they come from?
I will send you a picture. So this is your navies at this time. I read a lot about this because Asian navies are interesting how they developed. There was a modernization period much later, but for now, that's what you have. Like you gotta the Chinese Navy, like way back in the day prior to like the isolation period, they actually had a very large navy where like the famous junks existed. Those absolutely massive monolithic ships that easily could go to Europe. They traded routinely with Africa for a period and stuff like that. Zheng He and those guys. That was like the height of even probably to this day Chinese naval capacity. But they all got burned and sunk when they went isolationist. So now you have like basically like rowboats with a second deck.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't have the red. They're the SEAL ships, the Imperial SEAL ships, because they're made for tributes.
Yes.
I'm like, I don't have those anymore. I'm like, I'm gonna have to RP a bunch of random shit now.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm like, this whole war was like, I'm ready to get ripped apart. I'm ready to die. And I'm like,
oh yeah, no.
Like, oh.
I mean, it's an existential war for you, and it's become one for Britain, which, if anything, is a big deal in the RP, right? I mean, you did hold off Britain, and you may still hold off Britain. That's fucking very important for the context of the game.
I was shocked when I seen Madria's presidency go free, and I was like, "What's happening there? What's going on?"
Where?
I'm like, the Raj lost a big chunk of it. They lost the Madria's presidency.
Oh, there was a revolt, and then mechanically he wasn't allowed to enter it for some reason, so kind of got screwed on that.
He has to enter in the first 10 days, because overlords can only enter.
Oh yeah.
During the first siege, part.
Dude, I really like Vicky 3, but Vicky 3 makes it really hard to like Vicky 3 sometimes.
Yeah, I'm like that. I don't like that thing. It's like you have to pay attention to the first 10 days when it pops up. I'm like, who's gonna be paying attention that a new thing happened?
Ridiculous, man.
So whenever I see a war pop, I have to look immediately. I'm like, is it my vassal?
Make sure you're not completely fucked.
Yeah, because like people can be sniping my vassals and I wouldn't even know it.
I do have to go talk with my foreign minister. I gotta go check with Jay right now. I just wanted to get us on the same page so that does not continue.
All right.
I also made a note. I'm gonna look into to see if I can do anything with the modding portion, because just out of annoyance, I want to see if I can fix this shit with occupied provinces not being able to be defended. So, but yeah, sounds good. I'll probably take Formosa back. If not, I'm going to go ahead and invade King proper.
Right,
so just heads up.
Counter invade here Formosa, and I won't counter invade Formosa then, because I'm like, it is really cheesy that you can't stop me.
Yeah. Dude, that's the thing. I really don't want them to go with like actual like war micro shit, because I want to keep that in like the toxic ass communities that Vic 2 and Hoi 4 are. But like, you got to be able to set garrisons in regions you take to stop naval invasions or something. Like, they got to add a feature for that. It's crazy right now.
Yeah, I'm like, they need garrisons at least. Because your soldiers do garrison it, but I think it's only because they move. Because whenever I
know.
see it, it's like there's an army sitting there, but then it's like it disappeared. I guess you can't put it back whenever.
It's like playing Quay 4 when like Germany takes Europe, but you can't garrison the fucking, you know, like the West Coast, like, you know, the French coast. Like, it's crazy.
You can only reply to it.
Yeah, you have to send troops from Berlin after they land in Normandy. Like, fucking hell.
Yeah, I see
Ripping
that
my hair out.
whenever I land and the soldiers there, it's like 50. It's like 50 or 60
Yeah?
days. I don't know.
Well, that's the first thing any country does, like when they secure like a region, like especially islands, you know, if they have a country as a navy, is you immediately secure the ports, you immediately fortify them, and you prepare. But Big Three is like, nah, we'll send them home. They got pensions and a holiday.
Yep, they got tired. I'm like, they're going home. I'm like, and then you can't send them a message while they're going home.
For true. All right, well, glad we're on the same page. I'm gonna go jump down and see. Apparently, there's a whole thing going on in the Americas as usual.
All
so
right.
we'll catch you in the peace deal, regardless of who's on what side of the table.
Like, please, just peace.
Absolutely not.
I don't think.
Both. This is too costly for both of us now. We're both all in.
Yeah, like
Britain's
no,
reputation
like,
is completely at stake at this point, right? Like, this is a huge war for them now.
I'm making 100.
like, please, even like the Dalai Lama is like begging outside. Oh, please, like, end this. I have 6.7 living percent.
I may be about to ruin Britain's reputation for poor Zolix here when he comes back and plays his country, so he'll have that to enjoy.
Everyone's like,
That's gonna be fun.
Economy. But I'm like, I'm making 100k a month. I've been getting more money while this war's going on.
I know, that's what I don't understand. I mean, to be fair, historically, the Qing were mostly self-reliant. It's why, like, most countries ran a trade deficit with them historically until opium, right? Because you are basically self-sufficient.
Because the Dutch came to me and they're like, "Do you want to trade?" And I was like, "Do you have guns?" And they're like, "No." And I'm like, "Do you have cannons?" And they're like, "No." And I was like, I'm like, "I want nothing you have."
Yeah, that's about right. That's another thing. We need to keep track of who's actually trading guns with you for after the war.
Yeah, like a hit list.
Oh yes.
Who's selling me guns? Egypt.
Just don't give up the information.
The Russians,
Spanish, Russian,
the Spanish, the Americans, the Dutch. Oh boy. Zolix, you're here, right?
Everyone.
You're the one who needs to know this shit. This will be your problem when I'm gone.
Like everyone who's not British is trading guns.
To be fair, it's in everyone's interest to stop this from happening, so it's completely warranted.
Yeah, I was like, this is the first time I had to act angry. I was like,
This is like all these countries see a chance to take down the UK, which is what this is, right? So.
Yeah, the second you lost Madra's presidency, I think everyone smelled the blood in the water, and they're like,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm like, I'm like, Zolix, you're gonna have one hell of a story when you come back.
It's quite funny.
Plus, I've sent all my military to New Granada to deal with the fucking upstart fucking Colombians. All right, I'm gonna go see what happened in the Americas because apparently some shit's going down. I will speak with you soon. Minister, what has occurred?
Okay, so first let's discuss the Ottoman Empire. The Ottomans requested to come and talk to me because they were worried about the Austrians and the Russians. They've apparently claimed that they have ambitions to expand within the Balkan regions.
Oh my.
They have said that they are willing to drop their claims for now on the Levant and to stop pushing for that issue in exchange for our guarantee for territorial integrity of the Ottoman Empire.
Good.
In the event of an invasion, they requested that the British would provide full support. I said maybe. I would have to run it by the government, of course. He's ultimately worried about the balance of power that could be affected with if the Ottoman Empire is attacked or weakened, which is understandable.
Yeah, very large concern to us too.
Yes, and he's said that he would be interested in renewing a trade agreement with the United Kingdom as well.
We are very interested in this as well. We need to, if nothing else, kind of control the situation. Russia and Austria might take advantage of the Qing. We really need to wrap this war up and get aggressive here, as well as Colombia.
I agree.
Once we knock out these wars, we'll be back to our full power, and then we can look into the Ottoman situation, stabilizing it, as well as, from what I've heard, we've lost the Cuban deal too, right?
Yes, from my understanding, the Americans and the Spanish signed a deal So it's in writing, and they have signed away the territories.
I think if these wars go well for us, we need to consider intervention there as well. We can't have the Americans taking the Caribbean. That is unacceptable.
No, we can't allow a new colonial empire to enter the world stage. That's not acceptable.
All right, we're gonna wrap up this war in
Colombia.
Colombia. We're gonna finish off the government, get good terms there, support the Brazilians who should be pushing. Why the fuck aren't they pushing? Did he peace? Oh my God, Charles, no, he did peace. Yes.
These are the diplomats from Sweden.
One moment.
Were slated. Okay, no problem.
And then we're going to go ahead, I think, and go all in. I'm going to bring back our main force from Colombia to reinforce with modern muskets, and then we're going to send them to China to make the push on Beijing, I think, here. Foreign Minister, what do you view as more important right now? Stabilizing the Ottoman and dealing with that, or going after the Caribbean and trying to stop that from happening?
Well, I think that the Ottoman situation would be just quick, simply because we could publicly state that we are willing to recognize their territorial integrity and are willing to defend it. That would
Good.
be quick and easy.
Foreign Minister, I hate to send you off again, but would you be willing to go try and get a group together with the Gajars, the Khiva, the Ottomans, and the Egyptians to go ahead and start protecting that region from Russian and Austrian expansion? Obviously under the purview of Britain and through their benevolent protection.
Of course.
Good. I think that's the play here. Ambassador, welcome. What can I do for you for the Kingdom of Sweden?
We're here in a diplomatic mission. We won. Our king has sent us to deepen our diplomatic ties between our kingdoms. As you are well aware, we fought together in the Napoleonic Wars against the Danish. We'd like to keep our friendship, just catch up with what's been going on within the United Kingdom. What are their plans for Europe, especially in the region of Scandinavia? As far as what I'm specifically looking for, I'd like to make a trade agreement between our nations. You will be receiving wood that we are already carrying, and then in exchange, I would like to receive industrial goods. Coal is in dire need in Sweden if we are going to go ahead with our industrial reforms. We will need coal and tools for sure. Apart from that, I also like to not get a guarantee, but at least like to know what will happen in the case that Russia seeks to expand their influence inside of Scandinavia, and if the United Kingdom has any plans in regards to that, basically.
I would just like to say quickly, if that was to happen, a Congress of Europe would be called, and we're very confident that a lot of Europe would not allow that to happen.
Very well.
We can't absolutely guarantee that. Regarding coal and tools, we currently have a deficit of our own and are attempting to deal with our domestic issues first in regards to that, but we are willing to begin exports to Sweden. We do view Russia's recent rapid expansion and pressure on, as well as Central Asia, the Ottomans, to be of great concern to the Empire and Her Majesty. Sweden, given that you also have a natural, shall we say, complicated history with them and know well the dangers of their expansions. We view you as a natural party by which to begin to cooperate with, and are also interested in pursuing deeper relations.
I'm glad that you agree.
We do wish to make very clear, though, the Russians are becoming quite warlike. This may not be a situation that would not require a strong militarized Sweden here. What is your government doing to prepare for this? As Britain is willing to help those who help themselves, much like the Lord does help his own.
Yes, of course. As for our plans, we would like, of course, the Allied Islands are a very important part of our nation. We consider an integral part of our nation that we lost in the Finnish War. The Duchy of Finland, we would also like to see it return. However, we do not want to cause a war over this matter. We do not want to shed any unnecessary blood over this land. If it could be returned peacefully, that will be the best outcome for everyone, I believe. However, I do understand that with how Russia is behaving right now, very militaristic, expanding everywhere, that might not be the occasion. So we will start drafting plans towards expanding our military forces in case that we do have to intervene militarily in this section of the world, basically in Scandinavia.
That's good to hear. We,
All right,
we can be agreeable to that.
Yeah, of course. In that case, can we agree to the trade agreement then? Or
I think so. Given the circumstances, yes.
Okay, all right.
We do ask that you currently, for now, until we deal with it strategically, given our current war situation, refrain from importing coal and tools until this war with the Qing is done, though.
Okay, all right. I have a trade going on right now with coal. I'll cancel it, and then once you are willing to agree to that trade, then we'll send our
Good to hear.
persons.
If you also do have any excess small arms, we are very much in need and would pay at a absolute premium for those.
No, not currently. Prussia is taking a few of those, and then we do have a pre-existing trade agreement with them that we cannot just.
Of course, very well. That is all good and fine.
All right then. It was good to hear from you, and good to hear that we agree on many of the things. So, the way of worry for me, I will send the. Oh, that was not what I meant to send. My bad.
I mean.
No.
I mean.
No, that was.
No. You said we would have joined your custom union. Like fuck that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Then no.
Superpower Sweden time.
There we go.
All right, that looks like the right treaty. I hope this was just some joke that your foreign ministers wrote up here, but no worries.
That was just a flip. All right. Well, glad that we can agree on that.
Thankfully, my training as a lawyer in my younger years came in careful there. You always read the fine print, you know.
All right. Well, then it was good to hear from you.
You as well. Farewell, Ambassador.
Farewell.
We're struggling in Formosa, but that's fine. They've got all their troops there right now, and we're about to hit with 3 different naval invasions at once. To defend? No. And I can't even move him right now, even if I wanted to. For now, I want to keep it there because we'll keep all those forces very busy for the moment. Dude, he's sending his fucking fleets to raid us in the English Channel and shit. God damn. Wait, is he or is he not? Said we got raided there. No, he's not. Why am I getting that notification? At least one of these T zones. Okay, I see. So it's probably the Sulu coast. That's fine. Here we go. Attempting to land, and we're not gonna land, I don't think. Again.
Hello.
Sufficient naval support. God damn it. Hello there. What can I do for you?
I'm hoping you look for your foreign minister. I understand you're really busy with the war, and I want to be able to.
I believe he is currently on a foreign mission to try and rally some of the Middle Eastern countries. If you would like to catch him, perhaps in Istanbul or Cairo.
That's fine. I will see what I can. If I do not get him in time, would you mind letting me know the next time he's come through here that Grace is looking for him?
Of course.
Thank you.
I will try and defend here. Perhaps that is the wisest. Are we hitting that ever naval invasion? Western Australia? Oh, god damn it. That's the problem. They're engaging with our forces because the AI sent forces to fucking fight there, so they're fighting the easy ones. It's annoying. Can I tell them to fuck off? Probably not. Something else as well.
You left us.
Sorry?
You left your colonies all alone in a chat.
In what?
You left your colonies alone. We were waiting for you.
Or to do what? What do you mean where else were you left alone?
Well, we were in the Great Britain. Like,
Oh, is that channel still open? I thought I made a new one.
yeah, no.
Oh, where the fuck is it? In channels?
If you could bring Canada here.
I'll go back to the other one. I didn't know it was still there. 1 second.
No.
I can't see it.
I don't see one.
That's it? It's from Great Britain.
I don't see it at all.
Oh, there it is. It's hiding. Found it. Right.
Alright.
Alright, cool.
Well, no, Canada needs to come back. Here we go. The team is back together.
Jesus. Lost. The morale is low. We might win this. Yeah. It's gonna be close. We've lost a lot, but we've killed so many of them there. What happens if the war entry ends? They don't get the obsession with opium. Right, we are landing and we are pushing now in the south. I'm gonna put more divisions there because those fronts will just split and we're gonna get fucked. We'll do this. For now. I don't think we will land in Hammurabi. It'll be close. They just have too many forces there. I'm gonna send Garibaldi into the eastern provinces. We can push in from Manchu. There we go. We need to get them relief there too.
Right. That's a Sikh Empire during this fight.
Sorry?
It's a Sikh Empire. I thought we had a Sikh Empire player.
I thought we did too.
For fuck's sake, right.
Wait, what just happened?
I've got a Sikh Empire declared on me.
Jesus Christ.
Well, joining the war anyway.
Yeah. Did VFM change any or something? Because I've never seen the revolts this bad before. There we go. Now we're moving. We are thrashing them in southern China now. We will probably lose Formosa, but we'll just launch another naval invasion. It's fine. Naval invasions behind are banned now, TCU Emerald. Because there's no mechanical way to defend those either. Fully done, he is. Yeah, it's costed the Qing 7 million. It's costed us a lot though, 3 million. Economy's really stagnated during all this. We still don't have enough arms in fucking industry.
I'm not even using guns anymore.
Yeah, it's crazy, dude.
This whole time I've managed to build 13 iron mines.
Yeah. Suppose we should probably just spam more construction sectors. I just hate to do that shit. What's your construction up to right now?
My construction's 53.
I need up on then. Really
I
well.
have 12 construction sectors. Long until Garibaldi lands. Weeks. Go for rifling. Follow Toilius. Beautiful. We need two fronts here. Only one of these is fucking us because we're just getting stuck in these little battles. Come on, fucking ends. The guns are all gone again. Oh, the fuck, dude.
Well, Britain's gonna have a full-blown war industry after this, I will say. They should already have one though. Didn't like 1836?
Yeah.
Didn't they? They had a giant one.
They sold. They were British and Austrian weapons were the most sought after ones on the market
Yeah.
at this time.
Like Britain never suffered from like logistical issues like other countries did. Almost never. It did now and then happen in the colonies and places like that. But damn.
I'm back from the conference in Constantinople.
How did that go?
I was able to get Afghanistan and the Ottomans in discussions, but the Khanate of Khiva recently just joined into the Russian market, so they were not a viable option.
Eva joined the Russians. Interesting choice.
Yes, but Afghanistan said that they were willing to grant exclusive opium exports to the United Kingdom in exchange for guarantees of territorial integrity and protection from Russia.
That's reasonable.
They're willing to join the British Customs Union on the condition that the Sikh Empire is not conquered or subjugated by the United Kingdom. But if we do subjugate them, they will not join the customs unions, but will still grant export exclusivity for protection.
Sure, we can always break that later.
Right.
I guess a rating grade.
It's already one of my war goals.
They brought up the issue that Austria and the two Sicilies are in a war against the Papal States to unite.
Are they
Italy.
really?
Yes, and
They're
they were
already
concerned
rushing
about
that shit? Jesus.
Yeah, and then Khiva's no longer viable. So, they did.
Why is
basically
Prussia
build
and
the
Russia,
British
or
Empire.
really Prussia and France, allowing this as Catholics in Spain?
I don't know. I don't. Maybe they are not aware. I don't see
could
how
be.
they wouldn't be. But
I mean, we're Anglicans, so we have no horse in the game here, but still, it's rather odd that.
yes, it is.
Oh, dude, out of RP. This is why I'm taking a break from multiplayer. Shit like this, dude. Ugh.
Yeah. Greetings.
Oh, there.
Hello. Hello. Yes. This is the Emperor of Spain again. We have come to let you know that with the situation regarding Cuba and Puerto Rico, we have decided to let Cuba decide because the situation was getting a bit heated with you and Americans trying to outbid each other. And the Cubans have decided to go with United States.
Really?
In the end, yes.
Oh, well,
this is mainly because of.
And regarding Puerto Rico, are you doing the same there as well?
Yes, it was like kind of a joint. Operation. Yeah, the Cuban ruling elite wished to keep the practice of slavery, and they heard the British are not looking kindly at that kind of practice.
No.
And as such, would prefer to stay with the United States on the issue.
That is reasonable.
The Russians are requesting my presence in St. Petersburg. I will be back.
I'm here to say the same thing.
Okay, perfect.
If someone is talking, I can hear the faint sound of a voice, but you will need to turn your mic up.
Me?
Well, I heard another voice very distantly.
Okay, yes. Can you hear me now?
A little bit better, yeah.
Yeah, I can't turn it further up, so he has to turn me off, if anything.
Yeah,
There you go.
he might have.
I have my volume maxed out. Oh, let me look who it is. I'll max you at 200. Who is that?
Prince.
Prince.
Okay.
Hi.
Yep. What can I do for you?
The Russian Tsar has sent me here to present the proposal for the Tsar of Russia to mediate talks between the nation of Great Britain and Qing.
We
to
thank you
resolve
for his
this
kind offer, but we'll refuse.
Okay.
If they sought to make peace. What?
Yes,
What interest is it of theirs?
Yeah, sorry. So just to finish what I was saying, I hope there is no bad feelings between us. It was just the Cuba's choice, and we wanted to respect their wishes. If you are not like it, if you don't like this outcome, unfortunately the hand is out of our hands because the Cubans and the Spanish government already signed the agreement with the United States. Just to highlight, it wasn't about the money. They didn't offer us more than 2 million, and they offered us even less. But we just wanted to respect the Cuban wishes.
Of course.
Yeah.
We will not hold against your government. We do take it as a bit of an insult that you did not approach us to speak about this like you were so aggrieved to do with the Americans, but I'm sure there were good reasons for such a thing.
Yeah, they made us basically sign the agreement there and there because they said
made
they don't want
you
us to go back. Yeah,
So you signed.
You were
an agreement
coerced
that you
into
were
this deal
forced
by
to
the
sign,
Americans.
But you wouldn't sign a deal that was
It's very worrying to hear that the Americans are forcing people to sign deals now.
No. That came out wrong. What I meant to say is that they didn't want to enter a bidding war, just like you didn't.
Indeed.
So we wanted to end the matter then and there. Since it was Cuba's wishes to join Americans either way, and I didn't want to work against their wishes. We just agreed to sign the paper then and there.
I see.
Since Cuba didn't want to come under the British crown, we didn't want to force them. That was basically the gist of it.
So
I
it sounds like
understand.
that the United States is attempting to become a colonial power on the world stage. Is that what I'm hearing?
They claim that it is their backyard and it's not a colony. It's more of a
Their backyard.
their.
It could be
Right.
argued that
I
the
don't know.
Caribbean is the backyard of several nations, not just the United States.
That is true, and that is why Spain wishes to remove itself from the backyard. It seems like a keg powder keg ready to blow up. Okay, yeah, as I said, we hope for this not to put a spanner between our nations and
Well, it certainly will
Thank
help relations, but thank you for bringing it to the United Kingdom's attention.
thank you very much.
You're welcome. Farewell.
Adios.
He's a
Goodbye.
fucking trade unionist. Is Garibaldi a trade unionist?
Region Louis Valdez of Brazil.
Yes. We would like to inform that we would like to congratulate Britain on its historic intervention into Colombia.
Of course.
We will of course fully grateful, and of course at some point we wish to return the favor to Britain. If there's ever a chance that we can return the favor. We have worked deals with Venezuela, and we've befriended Venezuela and made a trade agreement with them. And we are also expanding the iron mines, Britain, unless Britain seeks different goods that you now may seek from us.
It's good to hear.
Continued expansion of iron should suffice.
Yes. We are also due to annex the Cambios state in 19 months' time. Following that, we will then seek to annex the Papati rebels who are in the south.
Have you spoken to the government of New Granada? Are they willing to lay down their arms and stop fighting over pointless territory?
Things between New Granada and Brazil are cold. They're not as hostile as they once were, but I definitely think there is still resentment within the New Granadan government of what Britain did.
Oh yeah, that's going to be clear for a while.
But
They were not
we
happy.
will, but we will say that Britain has won the support and its allegiance.
We are
of
also willing to
Brazil.
provide troops when you seek to reunite your lands in Cabanos and Piratini, and Britain will give you troops as well as aid in order to do so, naturally.
We believe we actually have gotten one of your English generals, actually.
Oh, you have?
Yes, we have an English admiral called John Grenfell. He is an abolitionist, which is a bit awkward given Brazil's political climate. He is of the Catholic Church. And then we have an Irishman called Henry Fitzroy. I believe he is from Dublin.
How on earth did you get a hold of British generals? We're fighting the fucking Qing, for God's sake. We need all the men we can get.
Well, we don't particularly know how he got to Brazil. I'm guessing if we just recruited him, I'm guessing he just decided to migrate to Brazil and has just taken up a job.
I suppose so. Interesting career choice, but can hold it against the man.
The best paying army in the world.
Also, guys, look at Formosa. Look at the fronts that the game has made. That's so dumb.
Does the Britain, once we've unified our territories, does Britain require any support from Brazil on the
Arms
Chinese
exports, if you can give them. For some reason, many of our arms factories were destroyed by internal civil issue, and as such, we do find ourselves at a deficit.
I believe it was a strike.
Ah, yes, the strikes.
We will, of
Uppity
course,
commoners.
we will, of course, be selling arms to you. We would also like to give you intel that one of your exiles is in Brazil.
One of our exiles?
Which one?
Yeah. He is named... I'm trying to find him. Actually, I think he might have died. It was John Snow.
Rather sudden, don't you think?
Sorry, I think it was John Snow. He was a trade unionist.
Very English name.
Unfortunately, I believe we may have lost him. I think he went on a trip to the Amazons.
Well, then he took his exile ship to heart.
Yes. If we find him again, we will let you know. And I'm guessing we don't want him back. We'll keep him somewhere away from Britain. Maybe on one of the Brazilians' many islands. We'll just put him there for you.
So, Regent, when do you intend to unify your territories in the Amazon?
We intend to unify in 18 months.
18 months?
Out of character, that's when the truce between me and that nation ends. That's when I can go in and invade. Once 18 months has passed, the Brazilian military forces with the English general and the marshal. Our marshal is a Catholic jingoist called Pierre Lambert. He is French, but he is like 70. He is getting on. So we will be looking to have the English officer to replace him once the general dies of old age.
Gotcha. And in the meantime, between now and the end of those 18 months, how can you provide? What would you be able to provide the United Kingdom for a war effort?
We will be able to provide coffee, liquor, grain, furniture, iron, tobacco, sugar, wood, clothes if you need it. We will also, if need be, we will build a arms manufacturer and send arms to you. If that is what Britain needs, we will of course cater and support you with anything that you might want.
Yeah, I'd put in a request for you to do that, yeah, the military.
Yes, then I will tell the I will tell the workers of Brazil to enact an armory or a musket maker, and I will export muskets to you.
Good to hear.
How goes the actual war against those savages to the east?
I will be very frank with you, they have proven incredibly capable.
We're still succeeding in
We are winning, but it is much more of a slog than I think the military command could have ever imagined here.
Or would ever admit.
But I would say that if you manage to topple the Chinese, it would set a note that it would definitely mean that you get the first slice of the pie if it was.
Out of
to
our
be
P, Wobo
said.
is right. His generals are fucking so good at defense. It's kind of crazy. Damn, dude.
That's the way to die rolls.
Yes,
Yeah, no, it is. It is rough.
I will now.
He's got
I
the
will now-
legendary generals right now. This is like, there will be songs about these guys in China.
Yes, I will enact a arms industry, and I will start exporting guns to you.
Very well,
Was there
very
anything
needed.
else that we could do for your region?
No. We of course are very thankful that you intervened in New Granada, and we believe we won't require British troops. I believe the Cabios rebels, they are ill-equipped, and we will be able to pacify them once the Brazilian forces can be given the go-ahead.
The Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Great Empire Qing has come to Britain itself to ask one thing. Don't you think it has been enough? You throw yourself out our walls again and again, and nothing happens.
Who is this savage?
I'll be honest, this war has been tougher, and I will give respect to those who lead your men. But I must say, I'm acquiring a bit of a taste for dead members of the Qing, and I think we can make a lot more before we force a treaty on you.
Indeed, I see that. I've seen the invasion a week before.
You know our terms, and we will keep fighting till we get them. The prestige of the British Empire is now at stake.
But speaking of that, is there anything that Britain needs from Brazil apart from the gun export?
No.
And
Not currently. Just
okay,
those.
cool. With that, we will be initializing a gun factory, and we will come back to you once the Cabios, or once we have pacified the rebels.
Perfect.
I wish you good health in your war, and I will say that God is firmly on the British side.
Rather.
Safe travels back to Rio.
Rules are fucking.
It isn't going good, I hear.
Oh.
Well,
Delegate of the Portuguese.
yes, I am a Portuguese ambassador. My queen, not too long ago, wrote a letter to which we got no response. So it was decided to send a formal delegation to the British Empire. So here I am. Good day to you. Yes. Though my queen is not currently in control of her nation due to internet issues or some magic akin to that.
Never heard of it.
Yes, it's
Must be
strange to
ill.
us too. Yes, he might have fallen ill, true. It has happened before, fever and all that, you know. But nonetheless, her request still stands. We would like to call upon our old alliance with Britain for some financial aid, so we, the Portuguese, may better assist the British in worldwide affairs. With the time
By
to
this, do
come.
you intend to join our war and fight the Qing?
Oh, I'm not currently capable of doing that, but if it lasts till the next session, yeah.
Hopefully we'll have it done in the next hour. We'll see. It's tough to say at this point.
Guarantees,
Yeah, I had to leave the game because I was lagging too much.
Oh,
So
okay,
I'm
gotcha.
not currently in control of the nation.
Regarding
Because
giving
I
you
do-
funds, the whole British military is currently engaged in foreign affairs, and as such, we do know how much. How much are you seeking?
I was seeking for some financial aid.
And to
Must-
clarify, our alliance is one of mutual protection, not one of economic assistance, though we're not opposed to giving it to you if you have valid cause.
Indeed, I was coming to you to deepen our relationship. I am fully aware of the nature of our agreements, but I was seeking a more friendly relationship between our two empires spread across the world.
We already have very good relations. Is there anything in particular you're looking for?
Yes, financial aid.
As you just said. And what are you offering the British Empire?
At the moment, I am sorry I can't offer you much, but what?
So you're
asking
asking for alms. Am I getting this correct?
Oh, I would not put it that way.
No,
We
of
are
course not,
asking
but-
for aid. There is no shame in asking for aid. We are not beggars.
Hey, are you at the service of the British Empire? Do you march in her army, sail on her ships?
We do not.
I do not mean to insult a good friend and ally, but I am struggling to understand what exactly. I mean, are you impoverished? Is your nation in full decline?
Well, we're having some bureaucratic issues to which taxation has been an issue, and due to, well, not being able to control my nation 2 times in a row, I need some financial aid to kind of get it up and running.
Of course.
So I can be of use in later wars and disputes.
But you have nothing to offer to the United Kingdom in exchange.
At the moment, nothing more than my diplomatic support and future promises of support in Africa, and if the need be, China. But for now, I have nothing, no.
Promises can be broken or forgotten.
I am a man of God, and so is my queen. We do not take our promises lightly, and do not insult us as such.
We're not insulting you. It's just that future promises and futures without the proper funds to back it up are rather,
perhaps.
Well, they're not the most safe investment, one might say.
Fair enough. Perhaps we can make a more legalized treaty out of this then. You provide.
I do have a proposal of myself here. We would be willing to provide you subsidies in exchange for a treaty stipulating Portuguese aid in British colonial wars in the future, whether in defense or offense.
Carte blanche, you say then?
Absolutely. We'd provide the same to you, of course, but
yes, that.
Recent times have shown that perhaps Britain does need more options when it comes to these sorts of wars.
Farewell, yes. We shall have it in writing then.
It's agreeable. And we will also need to wait until we balance the treasury just a wee bit here. This war is quite taxing on us economically. But we are hopeful that things can change quickly.
Read about the Chinese situation. Is it true that over 100,000 men dies in the Himalaya?
Quite a few did indeed.
So many, dear God.
Well,
Himalayas.
It's what they sign up for. The signing bonus is, after all, rather adequate.
And the glory of defending the United Kingdom.
Of course, that as well.
Yes, that is word in of itself, I understand. Well, I wish you all a good day. Shall I write up the treaty?
Hey, you're welcome to if you'd like.
Farewell, I shall have it done later. Good day to you, sir, and
to you.
luck in China.
Thank you. Safe travels.
Thank you very much.
Canada can take on Britain's debt, and it will forgive the obligation if Britain would like that.
We currently actually are in very minor debt. We do appreciate it. The Canadians, if they could actually send troops, would be much more appreciated. If you're in the war, I think you are.
I am, but I don't have access to a coastline, so they'll just be out of supply the whole time.
Jesus
Are you able to
Christ.
send material aid, such as muskets or cannons?
I can start building them, but
We need a bigger arms industry. The game doesn't give us enough to start off with, unfortunately, here.
okay, I'll start one.
Jesus Christ, dude.
Did we ever find out if the Spanish were releasing their hold of the Philippines?
No, they're gonna keep it. They want to keep it for. They plan colonial expansion in Asia.
That's right. Okay.
Dude, how are they winning these battles? Did military just like change since I played this game last?
I'm guessing it's something to do with the modders. I'm gonna be honest.
I just don't understand what the fuck's going on.
Yeah, it might be one of the mods.
We didn't add any new mods to the game.
I mean, tweaks that Father and I might have made.
They had an
Nice.
update today, yeah.
Like, what would do that though? Hold on, I'm gonna go look at the changelog now because this is.
It might be the production method, the second one. They're on muskets. Maybe they don't.
It gives a ton of defense and offense. That's fair, but they're importing them and they're buying them. They wouldn't have enough to obviously supply their men, but like that is semi-reasonable. That shouldn't be enough to be causing a situation like this, though.
Evaded the terracotta army.
Oh, he's on true neutrality, and that gives huge amounts of army and defense bonus now. That's Jesus Christ. That's a lot. That's too much. Oh, it is kind of realistic. No, man, that's 10 defense and 10 offense from having true neutrality.
What does that mean? True neutrality.
It's a foreign policy law that we added to the game, so it allows you to show like what your foreign outlook is. I was not involved in any of the rework on this. I made the original one, and then they tweaked it in this update. I didn't read through any of it because I hadn't had time. He's neutrality, true neutral, which gives you huge bonuses. You get army defense 15% too. Oh my god, that's what this is.
He's on armed neutrality.
Armed neutrality?
Yeah, still some pretty good bonuses.
That's not as bad, but yeah, defense bonus percentage wise and in terms of stats. That wouldn't be enough to cause this either, though.
Only 5 defense, yeah.
Great Britain, or the Foreign Ministry of Great Britain.
Yes.
Yes.
I am the Tibetan Foreign Minister, currently acting as the Qing Minister, condoned by the Emperor himself. I wanted to ask you, if for an eventual what is your proposal for peace? Like what do you want for peace deal? Like your initial.
We have our war goals clearly stated in the outset.
Okay, so you would want all of your goals.
We intend to keep fighting until we get our treaty.
Okay, so that is not open for negotiations.
It is certainly not.
Well, then I am afraid I will have to leave you again.
Very well. Out of RP, I figured out what it is. They tweaked war exhaustion entirely. War exhaustion now, you don't get it from casualties almost at all. Like, so one of the big tweaks was war exhaustion from casualties is just massively reduced in terms of multiplier, in terms of based allowance. So that means...
it's just territory.
Sorry?
It's just territory. Is it just territory? Or...
You mean for the peace deal?
Yeah. Oh, no. I mean like taking what's it called? Like you were talking about the cash.
Yeah, I was talking out of RP because I was talking with folks and trying to figure out why this is so difficult. The war exhaustion changes. So in the past, what would happen is you'd win the War of the Qing, I think, or it'd be easier because you just slaughter their men and their war exhaustion would go way the fuck up. The war exhaustion's been really reduced for casualties, so we can't get the war score up due to that. That's a big part of this.
Was that the Queen of Tibet? I'm gonna go talk to them.
Should have read through these, man. Just don't have time for this shit. Did everything as well.
Did you want me to go talk to the Qing Empire and see if they're willing to accept our terms?
Oh, they definitely won't. There's no reason they should right now. How the fuck are we losing another battle? Oh, Jesus. I'll need to... That means the Qing can never win this war because he can't foresee our casualties. They just need to hold out, because we lose war score if we don't take war goals, right? So for us to lose, it's really just us not taking land and like fucking them up.
Well, yeah, but you haven't dropped any war score for the past God knows how long.
I know, because we've had semi-occupation. I'm just talking to someone in chat right now. Like the only, because if you look at the war score, there's been a few times where it was dropping very rapidly, and the reason was we weren't occupying any territories. We're fine right now because we're controlling some of our war goals. Notably, we have Hong Kong currently occupied, and we've got part of Formosa, so we're not losing war exhaustion. They're not losing it either that quickly. They should be. But we're not dropping it because of that. If we were pushed out of Formosa and out of Hong Kong, then we would start to really lose war exhaustion very quickly. So for him, that's what he needs to do. Yeah, the war support has been exactly stagnant. That I also don't understand. Because he should be getting war support lost due to the current situation. Let's see if it even changes in the 2 days. Let's look. No. It's not going down.
Weird.
Is it bugged? You need to own 75% of the war goals to go below 0. I see, okay. But one more tick wouldn't take it below. No. Okay, so we need to get to Beijing is what we need to do. You don't own their capital, so war reps and open market isn't occupied, I see. But we can't navally invade Beijing, and they've parked their whole army there, which is smart, so we'll need to push up through here. Yeah, not being able to invade their capital is going to make it so we actually, I don't know if we can even take Beijing. Because we split fronts in Manchu so bad, we can't even hold that.
What if we withdrew out of Korea?
Out of where?
Manchuria.
We aren't in Manchuria, the game bugged.
Oh, I see.
Alright, I'm gonna try something. Maybe we can land hit a buy. If we take Formosa and I send Garibaldi to navally invade, we might be able to land it. You need to have 75% of your war's goals for the ticks to happen. So that means it is also impossible for him to win since his war goals require him to hold your homelands. Oh, Jesus, that's fucked too. Damn. I mean, we'll get it. We're just gonna have to build a like an absolutely astronomical pile of Qing bodies is what this is gonna require. We've killed 500,000. We've wounded 1 million. I'm also about to get rifling in a little while, so yeah, in over a year we'll get rifling, and then it gets rough.
Then we can actually shoot straight.
Fucking true.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would help, wouldn't it? So in that case, the only way we can move forward is we have to occupy Beijing. Sounds good. Well, we're gonna schlag it.
Plug it out. make them remember not to mess with the British Empire.
Yeah, the big thing is the 5 years didn't tick by, so they're not going to get obsession with opium. Oh, thankfully. I'm getting invested in Britain, but I am a sub, thankfully. Gonna walk away from this shit.
Yeah. Yup.
Block's DMing me. How are the wars?
Brutal.
Building a bridge of dead Chinese to Beijing. All right.
The road to freedom. Laid with bodies.
To be fair, if we do get the dub here, we'll be fucking stacked. There's gotta be a good general in Britain. I swear to God.
They're apparently all in the Brazilian Amazon for some reason.
Yeah, they all went to Brazil. Fuck.
I don't fucking know why. They heard nice beaches and were like, deuces. We don't like this rainy island anyway.
He's not bad. We'll take BlackRock. All the others I'm going to fire. We are going to land here. Is this Britain's Korea? Kind of feels like Britain's Korea, I'm going to be honest. Oh, the fucking front split again in Formosa. Jesus. Thank goodness I had two generals there.
Dude, this really is our Vietnam.
Just a little bit.
That is true.
They're not under-equipped though, Schlob. They're importing weapons from every other power in Europe. Zolux is gonna have to deal with the fallout of that too. Is that like every other, including former allies, have been exporting weapons to our enemies, and a European Asian power for that matter, which is a huge fucking deal. A huge deal. We'll need to crack some skulls. Did they really build a navy?
Russia. Russia's good.
Did he build a fucking navy? Kind of. How do they have so many? Oh, he's navally invading. What? Or are we crossing to the island?
No, he's trying to naval invade.
Isn't there a rule about naval invading behind? Otherwise, I would have done this to him like 20 times already.
Can't remember.
Yeah, I think you're not supposed to do it.
If we're opening that door, I'm gonna go down that door too. So what's the call here?
Hold on, wait. It just says a battle, so I'm not actually sure if it is or not.
Is there a GC? Aside from him?
It's not. It's not a naval battle.
Oh, it's not. Okay. They're just fighting in the middle of the South China Sea.
Yeah, I think it's just a weird position.
They're all
for
on
the,
floating bamboo, just like shooting at each other in the ocean. It's fine. Fucking hell.
At least you're making some headway now.
Yeah, the fronts are splitting though. Oh, dude.
He must be financial. He's got to be financially ruined.
He's growing economically. Kinda.
Yeah, you can still. No, he's not.
Is he not? He was last I looked.
That line's going down, mate.
With the fucking splitting fronts, Jesus.
He will be financially dying right now, guaranteed.
Did the war with Granada conclude for us?
War of Granada? Yeah, I naval invaded with 60,000 men. We won that very quickly.
A lot of his garrison buildings are only half staffed at the moment.
Not bad.
Hello, Regent. Welcome back to London.
Yes, we wish to inform you that Pedro is of age now. Yeah, not my doing. He's taken it upon himself to personally lead troops into a battle versus the rebels, and of course...
And how old is this boy?
Man.
He is 17 years old, and he seems to have a very imposing... The troops seem to, when he's on his horse, parading the troops around, they seem to as if they've been swayed heavily by his presence. He's quite imposing, if you would mind my saying.
Is it the beard? I've heard tell of it. It's quite large, quite intimidating, quite luxurious too.
Oh, he doesn't have a beard. He will grow a beard.
17 though. Or well, Prime Minister rather.
Yes, and as such, it will be him that he has personally said that it will be him that marches on these rebels and puts them down, as he feels that it is God's willing for him to put down the rebels.
Actually.
Well, congratulations. What does the UK have to play into this?
It's only that we seek that Pedro, of course we said that Pedro would seek a marriage with an English princess or baroness or one of the English nobility. He will be seeking a wife, and at some point he wishes to arrange a visit to the UK.
In search of a wife.
Well, yes.
Would
yes.
this be after the war or before the war?
This would probably be after the war, once he knows that everything is stable. And once the war is ended and Brazil has reclaimed its territories, he will be then
Fuck
going...
off, dude. God damn these fronts, dude.
I don't see why
Right.
he wouldn't be
I'm
allowed.
actually getting pissed off at this game now. I can't do it. I can't give the Spud Gunners the enjoyment. It's great. I love it. I think that is winnable. And the Western Australia, is that a player? AI.
United States.
No, Western Australia. They sent troops and they're getting mauled because they're bad. That's AI.
But yes, what did you say, Foreign Minister?
I said I don't see why he wouldn't be allowed in London to do that.
Let's see.
So
Well,
he's more than
after,
welcome to.
yes, and after the war, once he has married, of course, the only thing we'd ask, and this is one that we would ask if the British government doesn't mind, that if the woman is willing to, she doesn't have to follow the rites and that, but if she's willing to half-heartedly take up the mantle of being, like, she doesn't have to follow it, but if she wishes to become a Catholic, if that is okay with the British, she doesn't have to be.
No forcing any certain terms like that on them. But I mean, if she chooses to, that is her right, of course.
Yeah, if she wishes, it should be up to the individual.
But yes, we will make it clear to Pedro that if he marries a Protestant, it would be up to her. Of course, that'll be something that for them both to talk about. But I'll make it sure that he doesn't force it upon her. Of course, it will be her choice whether she converts to Catholicism or if she stays Anglicanism.
Right.
Yes. And with that, is there anything you need before I go back to Rio?
Always more guns, Ambassador.
Yes.
Okay.
The shipments have not been sufficient enough. We need more.
Okay, I will arrange the workers to build more arms, musket makers, and then we'll send more to you.
Are you sending them anywhere else by chance?
No.
Aside from the United Kingdom. Okay.
No, you're only export of guns. We're only exporting guns to you, no one else. We've had offers from other people to export guns to people, but it is a staunch no.
Well, then aside from that, I don't believe that we have anything needed from you.
Okay, we will bid you a farewell and wish you good luck in your war.
Thank you. God, this war should have been over.
Yeah, this is absolutely crazy.
So fucked. This has been fun, though, I will say.
I haven't disliked it. I'm just so aggravated at the fucking game mechanics right now.
The game, yeah. I'm glad I'm not playing it, because I'd be pissed too. Don't blame me there.
This game is so aggravating though, because like it's like on launch. It's got better since launch, but the fundamental thing is the game is so close to just perfection. Like it's so close to being amazing, and then there's these little bugs that just make it so difficult to enjoy at times. Most Paradox games have been like that to varying degrees, but I don't think it's ever been as bad as Vicky 3 in that context.
Are you able to naval invade Beijing? And
No, we're not allowed to.
no, okay.
No, yeah, you can't invade that.
This war would have been over a long time ago if we could do that.
We initially did that, but then, yeah.
Got told not to.
Fair enough.
Yeah, because like you can't make your troops like swoop around. Like I can hit Hebei, but if they go south and split the front, then we're fucked. So we can't make them go. Well, actually, can't you set strategic fucking points? I always forgot about that. Strategic objective. There it is.
Yes, you can.
I forgot about that. That is on me.
Canada, how are things on your end of the world?
Oh, landing in Hebei. Go north. Go north. Go north. Come on. We just took Beijing.
Oh, wow.
I didn't use fucking designated objective. Oh, god damn it.
We could have done that like 3 years ago.
Well, last time I navally invaded Hebei, we got absolutely destroyed there. So, in a while.
Yeah.
If I'd done designated objective and done a few things, it would have been fine. That was very much on me. And the front split. Fuck off.
Canada.
What are they doing now?
What's going on for Canada?
What kind of materials are you producing?
Sulfur now. I'm maxed out on lumber.
What are you manufacturing? Is it just furniture and stuff?
I've got one food, one art, and the capitalists are gonna do one arms industry.
Have you haven't talked to the United States at all, right? They haven't tried to reach out to you?
Nope.
Well, we have a half hour left of the game. Do we want to make a play for Cuba when this War of Qing is done, or leave that to Zolix?
I'd leave that to Zolix and just sort out the economy.
Economy is fine. I mean, well, it's no. Where the fuck? Never mind.
Ends, it'll be fine.
Yeah. Are we still running a deficit on equipment? Yes. I built so many arms factories. Are they just not producing anything? Or not? Why are they not employed?
Are they all at war?
Oh, it's because of the iron problems, I think. That's a big part of it. Yeah, do the work on eco. Yeah, we'll do that for the last little bit.
Develop your iron industry in Canada as well. That could help.
I do not have access to it until I get Quebec.
Gotcha. Is that still under French control, or what is that?
It's Franco-Canadian, but British puppet.
Oh.
Alright, we just need to hold Beijing. I'm going to do a strategic withdrawal from here, and we're going to reinforce that northern front. Just hold the capital, and we'll get the dub here. This battle could end. There's 24
perhaps we
soldiers.
could consider maybe merging the two provinces in Canada and just making it a single state under Canada, you know? Merging Quebec and Canada.
Oh, it'll be happening soon.
I don't see why we couldn't support that. Do you need support from us?
Considering the harshness and like the war, I feel like Britain would consider much harsher terms after the fighting. Absolutely. I don't mechanically with the rule side. I don't think that's allowed though. You can't change after the start, but I agree. In reality, oh god, what they would do to the Qing and the Treaty of Nanking would be insane.
Oh yeah.
It would probably be direct rule. It'd be partition. It would be a lot. For making this many Brits died. Yeah. They would do bad things.
Did Afghanistan ever join the customs union?
They did not.
They did not. Okay.
Canada just needs 16 more relations with UK and peace for to take over Lower Canada.
Good. Well, I presume the war should be ending.
Well, I'm actually not doing that much more. So I'm taking 3 less treaty ports than they did historically, and I'm taking Formosa, which the British did discuss doing IRL, and they decided not to. So it's kind of, I wouldn't say balanced, but it's fairly close. I mean, Formosa is large and populous, but I'm also not taking Shanghai and then the 2 other trading cities. I forget the name of those. The Treaty of Nanking was a gangbang of the Qing, and the reason China hates the West to this day, and will probably always hate the West, is the Treaty of Nanking. I mean, there were a lot of things, but it was probably the Treaty of Nanking that did the most to make China continue to hate the West, and will continue to do anything in their power to destroy it. That will never change due to that, because it was just that bad. This is a bit worse, but not too much. I mean, it was an embarrassment of a great and esteemed power. It was wild as a concept. No, they're not. They're not like Iroh. That's true. For example, Macau, which is shown to be the city on the land, is not in fact all this. It is like that. It's a little island. It's a tiny little island. Hong Kong will be shown to be this city. In reality, it's a tiny island like right here. So yeah, they're very unrealistic in that way. Yeah, true. Treaty of Nanking is probably one of the most important agreements in world history, especially in the modern world. It set the stage for so much. Almost done. So what's the stats up on this war? All right, 500,000 dead Chinese, 150,000 dead Brits, over 1 million wounded Chinese, and 500,000 wounded UK. So this is a very rough war for the UK, to be fair, given their population is only 25 million. So Dragon going well. Also, I'm gonna go knock out after this so fucking hard. Oh, excited.
Yeah, man. You're gonna get good sleep that you haven't gotten in the past like 3 days.
Dude, 5 hours of sleep in 48 hours. Just like when I used to work double shifts.
Aren't you also on that diet?
Yeah, I'm running 600 calories a day.
Oh my god, dude. Your body hates you right
It does. It's fine.
It's okay though. Just take care of yourself, man.
Oh yeah, always.
Need some food.
6 offense, why are we not watching? I need to take a deeper look at the military system in Big 3. I thought I understood it, and I still do in parts, but I mean, I think a lot of it also is just against how important generals are in winning battles. Like, it's just so definitive.
I know they're about to capitulate. They're in 99 Byzantium. We could do like a negotiated peace. I feel like all the demands would be a lot, considering how
we want unconditional surrender. We're all into this war. We'll keep fighting if you don't feel it's enough. But I mean, like, we own Beijing, the heart of the Qing. We've slaughtered so many of them at this point, and we're really pushing now, right?
Why do you think it's unfair, John?
I just feel that due to the I mean, it's already over anyway, but I felt that due to the fact that 150,000 British people had died,
that just makes it more. The opposite would be true. That would mean that in reality, the Treaty of Nanking would be much worse on the Qing, right?
Yeah.
More dead Brits mean like much bigger terms. So I mean,
yeah, it's fair. I don't think it's unfair. I did feel like a negotiated peace could have potentially happened, but I'm not prepared to force you.
Given that this war was expected to be very like minor by Britain and how they had to all in and how so many died, there's no way that the arrogant British in this time would negotiate a peace. And if anything, that treaty would have been, again, 10 times worse in reality. Because like Qing made Britain bleed, right? In reality, foreign policy wise for the roleplay, this is a very important event for the Qing, but it would be really the opposite of that.
Makes sense.
So US just asked for some of the border regions, which we said no to. All right, let's work on the economy for the last 20 minutes. My audio is desynced. Moose, try refreshing your browser. Tell me if it's still doing it.
I don't see.
All right, what do we really need? Iron, iron, and iron, and tools. Let's do steel tools. Can we do those yet? And But we have a deficit of steel too. Let's work on that. We have a nice surplus. We got to pay off part of the debt. More military costs. I'm gonna up our production here as well. A few more. Rid of all this now. And the Whigs won the election. Interesting. I mean, given the current government did so poorly in the war, I think a change of leadership makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
The Tories fucked up.
Really bad. We fucked up.
I think we've hurt the Tories' ability to win elections for quite some time today, Jay.
Yeah.
Or I apologize.
If
I
anything,
fucked
we
up the
just
Tories'
murdered
ability. Yeah,
the
that's
party.
rough.
Yeah, they're never coming back for this. Anytime anybody's like, "Oh, I'm a Tory," they're just gonna be like, "Ah, you remember China?"
We remember. Put on steel. 1,000.
Oh yeah, dude, and people were already like talking shit about us not winning in the first like year.
Oh, I bet.
How long did it take? Almost 5.
I will say I made some pretty big fuck ups here. I didn't use the strategic objective system, but that player also knew what he was doing. Those generals were very rough, and these military changes that the mod update included need to be examined a wee bit.
Look at the visual devastation of Formosa.
I'm sure it's a burning wreckage. We've been asked by the Qasim state in Yemen to join the war in order to occupy Oman. That's a player, right?
Yes.
I'll leave this shit to Zolx. Also need fuck tons of coal that we don't have.
Gotta do with Cuba and Puerto Rico.
This person, Wolbo. In reality, like grocery stores were very commonplace throughout all of the developed world. Guyana, I misclicked on, but Malta, yes. Hearing double music. We did get an absolutely incredibly large investment pool during that war. It's up to 10 million. Not bad. Going on like a sure.
Currently.
Would weren't the colonies working on making more wood?
I'm just focusing on iron. I don't know about the other chaps.
Yeah.
Canada was, but I'm maxed out now.
I'm still making logging camps right now. That's all
We
I'm
could
doing.
see if Brazil could help supply a little bit of wood if.
They won't
So
have the
can't supply
industry
its
for
own
it at
wood.
this point. That's the problem.
No.
Yeah, there's no way.
Gotcha.
Could negotiate with Russia, but they've been so warmongering and expansionist. We can't do that.
South Africa, could you maybe develop one? A wood.
Yeah,
lumber industry?
it's what I said. I've been only building wood, like since the start of the game.
To be fair, Britain just consumes so much, and all new factories people are building consume more too.
I'll be a very good source of it at some point. I'm just, I've got your largest iron mine at the moment, so.
Cool. So Zolix should be set up with lumber eventually by next session. Something. My guess.
Yeah, I'm trying my best to make some wood, but
Can
just on the
Britain
floor.
bankroll Canada for
After we pay off our
maybe
debt,
3 or
yes.
4 months?
3 or 4 months? What for?
Yeah. Just to get relations.
Upper or lower?
Upper. I just need 9 more relations. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I've not seen any mental colonization going on yet, which is good.
How can my neighbors do? Structure sectors, then we'll do tools. Those need to be bounced over other things. Hold on.
Privet, here is a delegation of the Russian Empire. We would like to congratulate the United Kingdom for their victory against the peasants.
Hey, fought much harder than we expected, but we did get our way in the end. What can I do for you?
It took a bit long, but we wanted to congratulate you.
Indeed.
Thank you.
We're just here for the congratulation. That was it.
What
Very
brings
glad to hear that.
the Kingdom of Greece here along with you?
Hold on. Qing are embargoing us. They, like, that was part of our treaty was forced trade. I DM him. God damn it, dude. I said that in the treaty.
I think you can say that. You can put in.
Did I not? I mean, we open up their markets. Does Zolix need to go in again? I'll leave that up to him. Oh man, that's walking the line. I mean, because in reality, if they refuse to trade with us, we just fucking fire on their ships again. On the coast.
Oh. Go speak to John.
Oh,
Dogs can
does
do
your
it.
treaty port act as that? Do you just get the resources from them?
I think if you're embargoed, you can't. Let me try and trade for something. Yeah. Maybe it's because there's no market access? Does it not start with a port? I think it's because Hong Kong didn't start with a port.
Yeah.
Maybe if it has market access, we can actually trade through it. Ooh.
It literally says it. Inactive treaty port. Hong Kong must not be isolated from the British market.
Okay, that makes sense. The middle class is starving to death. One standard of living in Hong Kong. They're starving to death literally right now because there's no port. Oh my gosh.
Fuck.
Yeah.
These people are just being dropped off.
Like, because Hong Kong wasn't built prior to this at all. It wasn't until it was taken as a treaty port that it was developed, so that makes sense. Six minutes left. All right. Well, in 4 hours we have fucked Britain up quite a lot for Alex here. He'll have a good time rebuilding.
That's what he wanted.
He was all for it, so I promised I'd give him a fucked up Britain. I didn't mean to fuck it up quite this much, but here he goes. So
He has a decent diplomacy game though.
he really likes rebuilding and shit like that, so I know that's his thing anyway, which is fun. Which I get. Rebuilding when you're like kind of weaker than you should be is always a lot of fun. He can do a lot of Formosa though. He can develop all his tea there. There's 73 tea max you can do there and 72 cotton. Oh, that is nice. And he has rifling too now. There we go. GDP has stagnated so hard during all this.
Ah, Sultan.
Good day.
Who brings you to London?
We wanted to see if this trade agreement was something that could happen.
Oh, yes. Apologies, I meant to come back and talk to you about that. Yeah, we could agree to a trade agreement.
Perfect. We'll send the proposal right now.
Perfect.
Is Korea a player as well, by the way?
Korea.
Yes, but I think it's vacant.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, not at the moment. There's no player.
They also were freed in that war, so we'll see what UK can do with that.
This trade agreement will be very good for both of us. Working now on setting up a lab.
Absolutely. And we do, again, full support your territorial sovereignty given recent actions as well, of course.
Wonderful. We spoke a little bit with the French as well. They were not quite as supportive in regards to territorials. The territories, but they were interested in setting up, say, like a conference or something regarding the Balkans, which I'm not sure that would be a good idea.
We have no real interest in that at this time either. I don't think that's necessary.
Yep. Fully agree.
Two Sicilies.
Yes, we bear our deepest condolences over the lives lost in your previous war. And
A necessary sacrifice.
yes, as you may have been aware that we also had to fight a rather vicious war.
I'm rather curious as to why you were fighting the Pope. Don't get me wrong. I'm not a Catholic myself, but I'm curious why Catholics were fighting against the armies of God.
Oh, I believe we informed the foreign minister of this. There was deep instability in the region, and we had to intervene to save the Pope's life.
Of course.
Liberal rebels wanted to, they wanted the unification of Italy. And I publicly have to be supportive of this, or else they'll come after me as well.
And in response, you unified half of Italy?
I assume
now,
that
yeah.
now that you stabilize it, you plan on releasing it back to the Pope, right?
No. The Pope has informed me, at least, that he does not wish to be burdened by the governance of the entire state. No. And the people living in these regions have also expressed that they will not go under the rule of a religious leader anymore.
Hmm.
Let me see. Even though it is the birthplace of Catholicism?
Yes, even though it is the seat of St. Peter.
I assume then you converted to Protestantism or some such?
No. I have acted with protection of the Pope as my first prayer and hope in the world.
So you're let me get this straight. You're saying you're using the Pope and his power and influence, but simultaneously reducing his power and influence.
I have simply acted with the idea of protecting.
Brain,
the
let
Pope
us leave
in
this
way.
to the next Prime Minister.
Yes.
Or
I
too
came
tired to deal with this.
talk about economic.
You can take that
insight
up
as
with
well.
my predecessor, as again. I think I would be rather harsh here, so I'll wait until Zolix gets here. You can be more diplomatic.
Oh no.
The game is about
Yeah.
to end. I think it is over, actually.
Oh.
What a long day.
I hope they get the save right after I.
All right, it was good playing with you all. Good luck in the campaign, and I'll see you in the next one. And tell Zolix I'm sorry for everything I've done to fuck his country, but it'll be fun.
What are
for
you
him.
gonna play next week?
Sorry?
Are you gonna play in a nation?
Oh no, I'm
next
taking a
week?
break from Vic Freeman. All needed. So. All right, I will
good.
catch you guys later.
Yeah.
All right, folks, we're ending here. I'm exhausted. I'm gonna be honest. Like I had mentioned earlier, I am on very little sleep right now, and my patience is gone. Got very pissed off at the game. I got very pissed off on some of the questionable roleplay that we saw. And normally, I have the patience to deal with this. Normally, I had the patience for this shit. Not right now, but we are going to go see if there's anyone to raid. Bad game? Yes. Bad Vicky 3. Raid. All right, we'll end here. Hope everyone enjoyed watching. I will sleep before next week, and I will be a little more reasonable. Like I said, when I'm sleep deprived, I do get a little bit cranky. So if there was any of that, I do apologize. I don't do well with lack of sleep. Let's see here. Next Saturday, let's see, we've got Fallen Eagle continuing in the morning. We'll have more Grand Campaign Saturday afternoon. Next Sunday, more single multiplayer Grand Campaign. Hopefully it's a little bit more stabilized. And then in the afternoon, we will be doing more of the Liechtenstein playthrough. So hope that will go well. Hope everyone has a very good week and enjoyed this absolute train wreck of a session. And I will catch you all later.